do.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to an all new episode of Much Ado About Nothing, the show where me and Joel talk a whole bunch about a bunch of nothing and then maybe something at some points, but usually nothing. Join with me, as always, is my co host, Joel. What's up, Joel?
What's going on, Juwaan? Ooh, I'm rhymed.
Right?
What's going on, Juwaan?
Right? Look at that. You didn't even do that on purpose. Look at you. Look at you. Just talented. Just so talented, Joel.
Natural talent.
Naturally talented. And do you guys know why Joel seems like he has an extra pep in his step? He not only got a Knicks win on Christmas,
Did.
he not only got word that Daniel Jones and Joe Judge are coming back. That made him very happy. He also just got a banging Batman trailer.
Sure did.
This is just cloud nine for Joel. I mean,
Yeah.
come on now. He should just go hit. He should just go do the lottery. Guarantee you he'll hit it. Guarantee.
I should go check it out.
Right?
Yeah.
I do want to find out what Batman's favorite numbers are and play it. See if I can't get that win.
I don't think he'll ever give that up. He's like, nope.
Yeah, come on, Batman. Tell me. Why not? Come on, give me some of that. All right, let's start with the first thing, and let's start with a Knicks Christmas Day win. A game that was so in the Knicks' hand, they had enough time to fight over trying to get Kemba Walker his final rebound for
That's
his
funny.
double.
It was a very funny sequence of events because, like, it just wouldn't happen for that couple stretch there.
It just wouldn't. But look, I'm always fine with that when a win is in hand, right? Where you're having fun, and that's really what they spent that, Christmas Day doing, was having fun. They were having fun playing together. And now it's kind of just also, let me just also add, Kemba Walker was just named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, averaging over 24 points per game.
8 and 9, I think it was. I was like,
yeah.
all right.
Yep. So when I pass it to you, you can go over the game if you want. But my more broad question to you is, does this feel like a change of direction, or does this just feel like the Knicks doing what they should do against a shorthanded Hawks team?
That's exactly what it felt like. Them doing what they needed to do against a shorthanded Hawks team. Not to say we weren't shorthanded ourselves.
Right.
But, they were definitely missing their best player. We don't know who our best player is. So,
so we wouldn't know if we were missing him.
Right. We can't tell. For the longest time, our starters were worse than our bench. So there's no excuses on our side. So we're just getting some of our bench guys back now. So it's just, we took care of business, and that's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Now this is a very favorable schedule coming up, so they just gotta bounce back. This is the chance to come back and bounce back is now, and they've been looking better. Their defense is just, they have to tighten up. They really do. They really do.
Yeah, especially switching off. I'm always of the mindset, and look, I've never played professional basketball, so who am I, right? I'm just a schmuck. But I will say, I see way too often Julius Randle pointing, going, "That was your man." No, Jules, that's what you call a switch off. That was your man. You just didn't rotate with it.
You want to know what really looks bad? There was a play during that game where it was a loose rebound, a loose ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming it's going towards the corner. No one's at the corner. Evan's the closest to the corner. He looks at it and kind of just runs away, expecting it to go out of bounds.
Right.
Because it's our ball. Obi, under the basket, runs to the ball to grab the rebound in front of the guy that was in front of. It's just he out-hustled him for that, just to make sure that we got the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that guy, this dude just, he was right next. He could have just ran for the ball, but Obi just ran from under the basket. That was true hustle. That guy's like a Energizer bunny. That guy's ridiculous amount of energy.
With you on that. I will say what's frustrating me about the Knicks the most is you're starting to play better around the time where I wished you were staying consistent to how bad you were playing, only because now if you start to play better, it will never justify trading anybody on that roster.
It's still not good enough, in my opinion, to justify.
No. It's not, but you also have to look at it like this. Like you said, it's a favorable stretch. Again, we're still a little ways away from the trade deadline, so it's not right around the corner. But if they start to gel, you kind of then go, even if they don't look like a well-oiled machine, they're just playing exponentially better, you still kind of feel like, well, do I just finish the year with this if they're playing better? Because then you could trade it, and then the whole no chemistry thing really comes into effect.
I'd rather do that and then worry about next year. Because, like, what's the right now you're struggling to get into the playoffs. Right now you want to make a playoff spot at this point. We're like 12th, but we're not far.
No, not at all. Because the Hawks are in it, and they're slightly better than us.
We have the same wins. Like, we just have more loss. We have one extra loss.
Oh no, they have one less loss because remember they postponed that Nets Hawks game, I believe. Yeah, so they didn't play. They didn't play a game they should have played.
Yeah. So we have the same amount of wins. We just we have one extra loss. But that's, I mean, we could have beaten Washington. That Washington game was bullshit. So it's like there's just a lot of like those games happen often. You know what I mean? A lot of those games happen too often, or we should finish games and we're not. And that's where you got to tighten. I think you need to at least get rid of. There is a lot of people. You want to find some time for like Grimes or someone. So maybe you do make a trade. So you have more room for the some of the guys on the roster.
You know what's crazy? Let me just say what's crazy about this year, and that's why this is why I tell people I hate the multiverse, because now I'm starting to believe that I'm living in it. So you got the Nets 22-9. That makes sense. You got the Bulls 22-10. That's not a big shocker. They've been playing great. The Bucks 22-13 makes sense. Heat 21-13. This is where things start to go. I have to be living in a multiverse. We've allowed not us, not even the Knicks, but the world has allowed the fucking Cleveland Cavaliers to be
play well.
20-13.
Yeah.
20-13. I don't even know who the star on that team is. And they're 20-13. So either that coach is one of the greatest coaches of all time, or they're all smoking crystal meth and just playing off of that hype. I don't know how to explain what Cleveland is doing.
Garland is playing really well. Allen is playing really well. I think they got a win yesterday without like fucking Jared Allen. They had Kevin Love started for the first time in forever, and they won. They've been playing what's his name, Markkanen.
Yes,
at small forward more than anything. You know what I mean?
Can I say I was really weird? I did fantasy draft on my 2K because my dad got me 2K for my Xbox. Excuse me. So I was like, all right, I want to do a fantasy draft with the Knicks. And when I went to small forwards to see who I was gonna, just throw in my lineup, they had him at small forward, and I went, no, no, he's a power forward. When did that change? Because I don't watch any Cavalier games, so when I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, 2K wouldn't have it there if it was wrong. So I'm like, well, what did I miss? When did he become a small forward? Like, it's not drastic, but it's as weird to me as when.
Well, he's 7 foot, so it's weird.
It's very weird, but it's as weird to me as when I first saw that Jason Tatum was moved from 3 to 4. Like, what the fuck? What happened?
That's not as drastic. This fucker's 7 foot tall. It's very rare for someone, unless you're like Kevin Durant.
But to be fair, I think the only reason why it works for them is because he can shoot.
He can shoot.
Right. So I think that's the only reason it works for them. If that man had even the slightest jumper that was off, he would have to stay in 4 or 5. You couldn't be anything else.
But yeah, right now they call it tall ball. They play tall ball. And Markkanen, when they're healthy, they play Markkanen, Mobley, and Allen.
Well, look, this is the world you've been asking for, Joel. You've been asking for the big men to be properly represented out here.
Well, I mean, they're the only team doing it right. I'm saying, like, that's risky playing Markkanen at small forward defensively, but if it's working for them, obviously it's working.
Because I'll never forget that Bulls game when Vucevic was out and we were playing the Bulls, and it was just like, I'm sorry, how many guards do you have? Like on the
Well,
court
the Bulls are the opposite
right
of
now.
tall ball. They're super
Right,
small ball.
they're super small ball, and
They
it's
only
like, well,
play Vucevic at center. That's the only big guy they play, really.
that's it. Well, also remember they lost the other big guy that they were using a lot. Remember the one that Julius Randle took out?
Mitch took him out. Patrick Williams
Mitch,
took
sorry,
him out.
Mitch took him out.
Yeah, Patrick, but he's not a very big guy either. He's like only
No,
6'7".
not really. But they were utilizing him at the
but he was playing power forward.
Yeah, at the 4.
And now they play Javante Green, who's like 6'4". It's that power forward.
Super weird. But look, at some point there will be a team that is a NBA championship caliber team that will change the fundamentals of that big man position. We have to wait to see what it is. But as long as these big men can shoot, the more people kind of feel like, well, I don't really need a big man. I just need someone that can come out and guard a Joel Embiid or a Jokic who usually shoot outside more so than banging in the paint.
Nowadays, you need a center that's going to definitely guard the perimeter.
So here's where things get very interesting for the Knicks in a good way. Sixers 17-16, Wizards 17-16, Hornets 17-17, Celtics 16-17, Hawks 15-17, Raptors 14-16, which is our Sunday game at 3:00, and Knicks 15-18. So from 6 to 8, very attainable. Very attainable. I don't know what's happening with the Sixers. That's why I keep saying at some point they're going to get desperate enough to pull the trigger on whoever says they want Ben Simmons, because you're not winning without him. Because you're not winning without him. Like I would understand. Wait, who'd you say?
Cleveland.
Oh Jesus, goodness gracious! I don't want to live in a world where Cleveland Cavaliers
super tall ball. Everybody's like over 7 foot tall.
But who would they want? Who would they want back? It couldn't be Garland.
They might want Garland.
No, but I mean, like, that's not your, like, Garland could be part of the package, but what's the centerpiece? Is it draft pieces? Like, I would, and I'm not asking you, I know you don't know, but I'm just like, what would be the thing that interests them the most to say, you know what? Yeah, send them there.
Yeah, the thing they probably would have liked most probably would have been, what's
Sexton.
his name? Yeah, Sexton, but he's gone. He's out for the season. So, yeah, so that kind of ruins that. Sexton would have been a good pickup. Garland would have been nice. I mean, they could throw in a package of people, but there's nothing that probably Philly really wants.
Right, but here's also the biggest problem. Trading him to the Cavaliers is fine when that team becomes Siberian. Like when they're horrible, that's where you send Ben. The fact that they're 20-13, you do not send Ben Simmons to another Eastern Conference team that is drastically playing better than you are, because then you only make them exponentially better.
Now you give him an all-star, and you're like, shit.
Right. Then if you're the Cavs, you're just like, wait a minute. I had LeBron. I lucked up on Kyrie. I won a championship, and now I have Ben Simmons. Like, that has to be the greatest luck of any franchise ever.
That team is lucky for a city. It's just crazy.
For a city that neither me nor you highly regards. They have landed themselves in the best possible position for way too long. They even had Wiggins. Think about that. Think about being so putrid. You have a possible star player. Again, I'm talking before the draft. We thought Wiggins was a possible star player. You get that, and then you flip him. Think about having assets that large that you could just say, well, we got LeBron. And he wants to flip Wiggins so we can get Kevin Love. What? Do you know how many teams would love to have the position to just get a high draft pick like that for you to just flip? Why not just trade out of it then?
They always get. Look, they had the 4th pick this year, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he's good. Evan Mobley's good.
He is good. I will give you that. He is good. I hear nothing but good things whenever I'm watching, like, what is that? Inside the NBA. Whenever they're talking, Charles Barkley usually raves about him. Charles or Ernie usually raves about him. But yeah, so I don't know. So to get back to the conversation we were having to start with, I get what you're saying. I do. And I think I'm starting to view this season the way that my grandfather always viewed that Amari season. To where I'm like, you can get this ship right. But the problem is, like I tell him when the Knicks just gave away everything to get Melo, as good as you might have thought that team was with Amari and Landry and those guys, they weren't in the playoff picture. They weren't. Melo got there and he put them in the playoff picture. Now, could you make an argument that if you had kept them together, maybe they could have strung together enough wins to do it? Sure, but that was never going to be a guarantee. There was no one on that roster that could guarantee you a win like Melo did when he got there.
Yeah, they 8th seed, so there was no guarantees.
No. So I look at this team and I go, I just told you the record between 5 or 6 to 8. And it's extremely possible this roster can make the playoffs.
Of course, they made it last year.
Oh, no. Right. No, but the point I'm saying is, so it then becomes, so I want to ask you as if you're the GM. All right. So Joel, you're the GM of the Knicks. Is your mindset this year, stay pat and see what we can do, or make a trade and try to win now?
Win what now?
That's what the only reason why I'm leaving that open-ended, the only reason I'm leaving it open-ended is I don't even know what are the possible trades the Knicks could make. That's the only reason I'm leaving it open.
I don't either. That's why if you can make a move, you make a move, I think, because we're obviously not, we're definitely missing pieces. We're not there yet. And we thought we were better than we were. So let's get to where we thought we were the right way. And if we can make a move to do that, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Look,
I don't see the point in staying in the pat. We're obviously not good enough to do that.
I only felt that strongly, Joel, because of how really, really, really bad that 5 or 6 to 8 is. So it's just it's prime for somebody to just completely take a hold of at least that 6 spot and remain consistent there, and then leaving 7 and 8 just up for grabs. So in my mind, I thought the Knicks could be that. But
this
again,
team has not shown me shit that they can be consistent. So if they can make a move to become more consistent, I'll take it.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at it and I keep watching the Pacers, and I keep thinking to myself, no, I because the rumor came out that they're trying to clean house there, so I keep trying to figure out like. And I'm only talking from a basketball standpoint. This has nothing to do with the Knicks. From a basketball standpoint, every sports show keeps saying the Lakers need to get rid of Russell Westbrook, but where can they send him? Like, who would take him? And I'm like, I don't understand that question. You have the Pacers that reportedly want to clean house.
And taking Westbrook is...
It would be the perfect scenario purely for the standpoint of you're starting over, right? But you have a marquee name to bring people to your games. And one thing you never have to worry about is Russell Westbrook taking games off, not playing hard. You're not really playing for anything. He can go get all the numbers he wants, do whatever he wants, and then he only has another year or 2 left on that contract?
It was a year. It wouldn't be that hard to move.
No, I think that it must be 2 years because it was only a 4-year deal he signed in Houston. And he played 2 years there, I believe, or a year and a half before he got traded. Yeah, a year and a half. So this is the 3rd year of that contract. So it has to only be another year. It can't be 5 years. No one signs a fucking 5
No,
years.
it's definitely not 5 years, but it's not 1 year. It's 2 years.
Oh yeah, it's 2 years left.
So yeah, but his last year he's gonna pick it up. So it's 2 years. Okay. And it's $47 million.
But then that's what the issue is more so than it being 2 years. it's the 47. But if I'm the Pacers, I could eat that. I could do 2 years of Russell Westbrook. Butts in my seats, surround him with something, see if he can make a push to make that.
But if you're Indiana, like they've never done that. They're not that kind. They don't care about marquee names.
That is fair. That's fair.
Like, why spend all that money? They've started from scratch before, And
it's worked.
They come out of it. They come out of it usually very well. So Not really worried about them. And they have a lot of assets, so they can bring back a lot of young pieces if need be. Because they have a lot of good talent on that team when they're fully healthy. Problem is, they're just always fucking hurt.
That is their problem. But I will say, I'm again not giving really big ups to the franchise we're supposed to hate. But to get rid of Paul George, who was an all-star, and then make Sabonis into an all-star is probably one of the more impressive things a franchise could do. Because you could look at that and go, you gave up Paul George, so you're going to be in the basement for a long time.
Oladipo was an all-star.
Oladipo was an all-star too, yep. So to get that and then have Sabonis, that is pretty impressive.
I knew Sabonis was going to be good. I'm happy that he became, because I thought he was going to be good coming out of college. It's like, it's going to be good.
Because I remember seeing him a few times on Shaqtin' a Fool, and I remember saying, I don't know who this guy is. And I remember when you were naming the All-Stars, and you're like, Sabonis. I was, Sabonis. Oh, okay. All right. I don't watch enough games of a lot of different players that get selected. So I was just like, well, this is obviously one of the ones I was just in the blind of.
He's good, as you know, because he kills us every time he plays us.
Every fucking time he plays. But luckily, we usually have the Sabonis stopper in Julius Randle. Julius Randle always tries to outplay Sabonis whenever he plays him.
Yeah, only every day we played Sabonis.
If only. But no, so look, I'm excited to see, and here's the thing that's going to work for Kemba. We obviously know we're not going to get rid of Kemba Walker this year because of the Rose injury.
Yeah.
You know?
Now you gotta like, hold on.
Yeah, even if Rose, let's say if Rose is healthy, the last thing you want to do if you're the Knicks, is rush him back. So if they say, and I'm throwing numbers out here. I know this isn't accurate, but let's say they're saying it's 2 to 4 months.
2 months.
It's 2 months. I would give it 2 months and like a few weeks with a player his age, just because if you can play Miles McBride, you know what I'm saying? Play Miles McBride, try to get him some quality minutes, and just let Rose rest. And you bring Rose in when you start making that playoff push. But if you rush him back, man, we signed him for what, 3 or 4 years?
Rose?
Yeah.
2 years, right?
2 years? Okay. Then I feel much better.
Well, it was 3, but that third one is team-ups.
Okay. So if Tibbs is still the head coach, Tibbs will pick up that option. So I'd rather not run Rose into the ground the first year into his new contract. So I would hold off because, like you said, we have depth. We just choose not to use it. Grimes is nice. We choose not to use him that often.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of people in front of them. That's all.
No. I get it. But my problem continuously was Fournier was struggling. Why you just lower Fournier's minutes and give Grimes more of his minutes? I'll never understand. He was just struggling. He's gotten better, but he was struggling for a while. That's all I'm saying. That's when you bring the kids in.
He was struggling. Him and Julius. They should have sat a lot earlier.
100%. And here's the thing. Me and Joel aren't saying they should have not played. I'm just saying if Julius Randle averages, 30-something minutes, shave it down to 25. Let's get Obi Toppin some minutes.
Yeah.
Let's get him some real minutes and see what he can do.
Oh, they got to play it off. I'm like, look, there's too many L's because of that shit.
At that point, yeah. I'm okay saying, oh man, he had a rough first and second quarter. Let's let him play through the rest of the game. If you let him play through the rest of the stretch
during that Atlanta game, the offense just looks better through Kemba. Just does. And I don't know. Julius sometimes be forcing it. There was like a little tornado action during that game too, where he's spinning and losing the ball. I'm like, holy shit, we're coming back to like 2 years ago. I can't have that happen again.
Bro, you know what the Knicks are starting to look more and more like? We have the opposite problem LA does. Russ is their point guard, but he shouldn't. LeBron should be, right? But you don't know what to do with Russ if he doesn't have the ball in his hand. So you flip that and you go, well, Kemba's our point guard and he's the one you want to have the ball in his hand, but Julius has it. And then when you flip that, you go, is Julius okay just being a pick and pop? Is he okay just coming off a Taj or a Mitch screen and getting a good shot?
He just doesn't
It
have to be
doesn't
the
seem like it.
main ball handler. It's just you're secondary. That's all. You don't need the ball. It's unlike Kemba obviously needs it more.
I agree.
Yeah,
He's
he's
more
more
effective
consistent
that way.
jump shot.
Right.
So let him do it, and you're secondary. It's very simple, especially when you have the matchup. It's different when you don't have a matchup.
Right. So let me ask you this, because you pay attention a whole lot more than I do. Do you think Julius Randle can be super effective off ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta be confident. You gotta be confident. Shot. Don't hesitate. He overthinks way too much, and the less he dribbles, the better. Honestly, let's be real. So
I will never understand how we don't find more alley oops for Julius. Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I know why we don't find more alley oops for Julius, because when we run down the court, the first thing he does is either this or he hits the paint and goes. And it's like, Julius, we didn't even run a play. What the fuck? Like, can we run something? It's like, yeah, run me. I'm the play. Give me the ball, and I'll decide what we do. And it's like, that's not how a team works. Like, it's not how a team works.
Get easy buckets. Do it to yourself.
Look, Julius Randle wanting to do that does not work with talent. The only reason Melo could get away with it was that his talent was nowhere near the talent Julius Randle has now. Nowhere near at any point of his tenure as a Knick. So you look at it, you go, well, I understand why Melo said, give me the ball. What was Samuel Dallenberg gonna fucking do? What are any of these guys gonna do? So I get Melo doing that, but Randle, you have too much talent. The whole point last year was too much was on you. And when we got to the playoffs, you had nothing. So I'm like, how is it you're working harder now?
But they know what to do against him. The scouting is obvious. You double team him. It's very simple. He'll dribble into us. Just let him dribble.
I'm just picturing two defenders going, no. Don't come help. He'll dribble into it. Don't worry. Don't come up. He'll just dribble.
They know exactly what he's gonna do. And then he holds the ball. Why are you holding the ball? Just move it. Move the ball.
Oh my God, yeah, that is too funny. I'm just picturing the scouting report. No. Back off. It's like, wait, doesn't he shoot? No. He'll drive, and when he does, he'll come right to us. Don't worry about it. He'll come. Don't even worry.
He's gonna dribble into you.
Good.
Why?
Gracious,
what are you doing?
I'll never understand why he won't just understand it's okay to just let someone else. Like, that's the point I was just trying to make. He worked harder last year with I'm sorry. He's working harder this year with talent than he did last year with no talent. And it's like, well, I don't understand, Julius. Shouldn't your load be lighter? Why are you trying to take on so much? Let Kemba do it. Let him do it. I don't understand.
You know what? It's what was effective for him last year too. His most effective when he was on ball. He was the point guard because obviously couldn't let fucking what's his name? Peyton do it. So I was like, don't let him do it. Just don't let him.
Yeah. I mean, we looked around and we were just like, well, Rose comes off the bench, so we'll just wait for that. Till then, it's Jules.
It worked. And his shot was he was water. Now this year it's off. That's the problem, and when he hesitates, it's because of that. He doesn't want to shoot when he gets the ball right away. I'm like, there were times the other game where he shot it, and I'm like, even if it doesn't go in, that's the shot you take. That's the right shot because you didn't hesitate. You got the ball and you shot it. You didn't think about it. You didn't dribble. Perfect. That's how he should play more often, like he played the last game.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't know. We got a pretty light schedule coming up, like you said. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night because we play a lot of somewhat back to back. So it's tomorrow and Wednesday, a break Thursday. Then I believe we play Friday and Sunday or Friday and Saturday. One of the two.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we'll be back. So that helps.
Yeah, the hardest game of that stretch is against the Raptors. For some reason,
they always fuck with us.
Yeah,
unless they're. I mean, we'll see how healthy they are by then. But
let's see how healthy we are by then. Like, geez, put everybody in a bubble. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we were pretty bad there for a second.
And wait, the last game I don't think Quickly played. So it'll be interesting to see him play Tuesday. See when he gets back. Yeah,
Quickly's back. So
yeah, that should help out a lot. I do want to see more so, and you might disagree, but I do want to see more of Kemba and Quickly. only because they're both ball handlers and they both can play off ball. Like Kemba can be a spot up shooter. And I do want to see the Knicks do more screens to get their shooters open. Like
I
if
want to do more pick and
Grimes,
roll. How hard is the pick and roll? Why is there not more pick and roll? I don't know.
I don't understand. Pick and
When you
roll,
have-
pick and pop.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand.
My biggest problem with Quickly is one thing. He has to learn to take. He gets open in the perimeter and doesn't take the shot. I'm like, you're open. No one's in front of you. Take the jump. You're right there. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a 3-pointer. You're wide open in the perimeter. No one's in front of you. Take the shot.
He also has one of the illest floaters in the NBA.
Yeah, that's the problem. He does. It's either the floater inside or the 3-pointer outside. He has to work on his middle game because it's like he's afraid to take a jump shot. I'm like, you're in the middle. Take a jump shot.
All I'm picturing in my head is Joel during practice going, quickly, come here for a second. You see all this fucking real estate? All this real estate right here.
All yours.
Use it. Like, you do know it's not against the rules to use it, right? Use it. You use all of this, right?
No one's guarding you. Take the shot.
But yeah, I do want it because you got Evan Fournier, who I always feel like takes the toughest fucking shots, and Quentin Grimes, who has an ill jumper. To me, why aren't we using Mitch to screen these guys open to take better shots? I don't understand. It's like you have big men for no reason. They're just there to be there. Utilize them. Screen, pop out. Good shot. Mm-hmm. But I swear Fournier will, because the Knicks don't screen right. So the way the Knicks screen is, players look at it and just go, he's clearly trying to shoot it. So I'm going to just jump over that, get right in Fournier's face. And that's a shot he takes. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand Fournier. Like, why are you guys waiting till a hand is in your face to pull it? Why aren't we getting more open shots? Why is it we are one of the only teams in the NBA that just goes open? I don't know. What is open? Like, players get open shots. Get open. Like, we take such tough shots, and then we as fans go, oh, he missed it. Well, I guess it could only be because 6 people had their hands in his face. That's probably why.
Take that extra. Sometimes it's that extra pass, like here.
Yeah.
Pass it back. Pass it back. That's so...
And we need more guys like RJ, Fournier, and not Julius, but RJ, Fournier, Rose. We need guys that aren't afraid to, when they're open for something that looks like it's being closed out, dribble out of it and then make a drive for the basket. Or like you said, maybe there's one more pass that can be made. But we also have to stop running the whole play clock down. Yeah. Let's maybe run a play where if we get a rebound, we have like 5 to 10 more seconds.
That's what the over dribble. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're right. Yep.
Yeah, the over dribble.
It's like, goodness gracious.
Two dribble pass or shot. Shoot a pass at that point, right? You don't want to over dribble. That's what my problem. Another problem with Julius, when he has the ball, sometimes he'll just, he backs you up and like, oh, you back. Like he's gonna shoot it. Everyone knows he's gonna shoot it now. You hope he passes it by, like, yes.
And also another thing I want Quickly to learn. Quickly. I know Damian Lillard is someone you look up to, Lou Williams, Steph Curry, and these guys.
I love it too, yeah.
But one thing you cannot do is early in a shot clock, shoot from the logo. Just don't do it Quickly. If we're up, if we're down, just don't do it Quickly. Just don't do it, please. There has to be a better shot to take. There just has to be. Don't take the worst possible shot you could take because you're feeling hot. Let's run a play.
If he's feeling hot, I don't mind it. It's just that he has to. Don't be doing that when you're cold. I'm like, never made a 3 yet.
Joe's like, well, you're cold because you keep taking it from an unreal distance. Like, maybe come forward a little bit. Maybe shorter distance would help.
If you're hot, you're hot. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna yell at you if you're feeling it, but I gotta see that you're feeling it. Like when the Grimes is feeling it, like I can see it. You can see it. Let it go.
But yes, I do want them to do more screens to get Grimes better looks at some 3-point shots, and Evan Fournier too. I'm taking tough shots, please. Good.
And that's a good guy. When Evan's hot, he's hot. You got to get him the ball. It's like you got to know your guys. Like Evan's hot, he's making shots, he's feeling it, getting the ball. You know what I mean?
And let's be more specific, Joel. When he's hot, find him in hot positions. Meaning,
right. Where's he comfortable?
Get him open. Get him as open as you possibly can, so that he can go flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when you take those tough shots that it clanks, and then the next one clanks, and now you're cold.
Out of rhythm.
We don't want that, right? We don't want.
I'm very much a person that believes in rhythm and momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You could take a whole team out of it, and you can put a whole team can get back on just some momentum.
We saw it all year last year with the Knicks. Horrible first half, second half, fourth quarter specifically, they're back in it. You're just like, what the fuck? What happened?
Momentum. They have terrible third quarters. Like, what the fuck, guys?
And then they zoom back in the fourth, and then they're like, damn, we didn't win. Bro, you spent 3 whole quarters sucking. Yes, of course you didn't win. Like, just play better in a full game.
You got blown out in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Just keep making a game. That's all you gotta do is stay in the game. Not get blown out in the third quarter. It makes it so much harder to come back.
Sure does. It sure does. And it forces Tibbs to put in lineups he just shouldn't be putting in because he feels as though that's the only way to come back. That's my biggest problem. But all right, let's move. Guys, this episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. With cuffing season right around the corner, you're going to want to satisfy your lady. And now you can with Blue Chew, which is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is very simple. You sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and are prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. With Blue Chew, men everywhere are excited to see the postman because when your package has arrived, your package has arrived. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code GVN at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. $5 for shipping. That's it. That's bluechew.com, promo code GVN to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details on important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast. On because we could just stress about that forever. We can do this really quickly because I really don't have that much to add to it. But are you how do you feel about the report Adam Schefter gave us of Daniel Jones and Joe Judge coming back next year?
I'm fine with it. I know some people aren't, and my only issue I have with it is I understand the whole thing is if you're getting a new GM, let the GM do his job, which is quarterback and of course, coach. Right. But I do feel they deserve at least one more season together because I don't think either one is bad. It's just it's not been a good circumstances the last couple of years. Give him one more chance. You don't have to give to Daniel the extension, for the rookie extension. And look, let Joe Judge play, finish it out. And to me, just whoever the GM is, just let them know like this is not on you this year. This is a gimme year because that's not your guy. So you're gonna, you can live. We'll give you an extra year just because of that.
And look, as Giant fans, here's the one silver lining you can have. If you don't want Joe Judge and Daniel Jones back, here's the one silver lining you can have. I 100% believe Mike Tomlin will not be the head coach of the Steelers next year. Will not be. And if he is not, I find it very hard to believe the Giants wouldn't go. Whoa, Joe. Come here. Yeah, I know we promised you, but you didn't sign the contract yet, right? Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm sorry. So we're gonna let you go, and we're gonna go ahead and get the Super Bowl winning guy, like we should have done before. So we're gonna go ahead and bring Mike in. So you can go ahead. You can go. And then Daniel walks up. Me too. I don't know. We gotta wait and talk to Mike. Mike might want you. We're gonna wait till he gets here.
Maybe likes it or not.
Yeah. So we're not sure. Let's think about it, but probably. But no. So I mean, to me, if you don't like Joe Judge, again, I don't think it's been enough time to fairly judge him. He came into a team, and his first year of actually building a team was last year? Of starting to build his own team was last year. So this is his second year. I only count it as the second year. And then by his third year, the team is still not where it needs to be, by all means, I understand. But to me, if you inherit a team, that can't count as your year. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're horrible, it can't fully count as your year. It's all players you inherited.
Right.
None that you got to really say, well, I don't want him. I don't want him.
Yeah.
You
This
come
is a
in
lot
as
of
an
it. This
organization.
is all Gettleman's team still.
Right.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, people keep acting as if Joe Judge drafted Daniel Jones. He didn't draft Daniel Jones. So it's like, well, hold on. You gave me a quarterback maybe I didn't even want, but I had to deal with. So I'm doing the best I can with it.
Yeah.
But what I said this morning was, Joel, I'm curious how you feel about this. I look at Daniel Jones as this kind of guy. If you can bolster up that defense and have that defense keep teams to an average of 14 to 17 points per game, I 1,000% believe Daniel Jones can get you 17 to 21 points to win any game you're in.
My problem is that offense looked. I've never seen an offense look that bad in my entire life. It's really bad. It's really bad. I don't know if you watched that game.
I don't know what you did, but I saw that shit and it was bad.
The offense is now. Daniel Jones is not quarterbacking this offense, but not that it was much better when he was there quarterbacking it.
Nope, not really.
Not much. It's not like we don't have offensive talent, which makes it worse. And the line isn't great, obviously. That line can't. First of all, they weren't good to begin with, and they just can't stay healthy. The only good that's coming out of it is that Andrew Thomas does look like a good left tackle. Yay, one position.
One out of a line full.
Yeah, the whole line, one position looks fine. The rest, oh boy.
Look, I don't believe in theorizing, but something that a Giants fan can dream about is still the possibility that we don't know the fallout of Deshaun Watson. I don't believe Mike Tomlin will be the quarterback there. I mean, the head coach there, I'm sorry, of the Steelers next year. I believe they'll part ways. So I'm like, the best case scenario, you'll have a Deshaun Watson possibility you can go after, and you'll have a Mike Tomlin possibility you can go after. That now drastically, and a new GM. Now you look at it, and it's a full turn from where you were before. I'm just saying it's
Deshaun Watson right now.
No. I'm saying we don't know yet. By probably off season of next year, we'll have some inkling on where that is heading. Whether it's an actual trial date set or if charges have been dropped.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to touch that.
Well, look, I'll tell you this: the Texans had no issue up until now.
I mean, they didn't have him all year so far, so it's not looking good at the moment. So,
wait, you said they didn't have him all year?
Yeah, he hasn't played all season.
Well, you know that's only because he said he didn't want to play.
Well, yeah, but also it's he also has all that fucking extra baggage too.
No. That's what I'm saying. Not by this time. I'm sorry. By the start of next year, which is of course the end of.
You think someone wanted to trade it for him by now? You know what I mean?
No. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Look forward to March of next year. I think by then, when we start to head into free agency and whatnot, we'll just have a better idea of what's happening. If it's still looming, I understand you. No problem. I get you. I wouldn't do it either. But that's what I'm saying. We'll find out good or bad what's going on with that. It's just there's not enough information right now. We just have the accusations, and that's it. Even Roger Goodell said there's not enough for me to put him on the exempt list. So if he's saying he doesn't have enough yet, there's clearly not enough yet.
Yeah, they got to clear that up before.
100%. I'm with you. No, look, bro. I lived through Aaron Hernandez. I get you. I understand. I understand. I get it. I lived through Aaron Hernandez. Bro. I'll never forget the day I woke up and they were like, "Murder." They're like, "Your boy Aaron Hernandez is killing people." I'm like, "Yeah, on the field. Yeah, on that field. You ain't see him last night." And they're like, "No. Like, really, he killed a guy." And I'm like, no. Turn on the news, and that's all they were talking about. I'm like, Aaron, no. And that was when I thought Aaron was a way better tight end than Gronkowski. So I was like, fuck, you're leaving us with this guy? And then, no one knew Gronkowski would be that good. He was unbelievable after that. But no, I lived through one of the worst controversies in sports history, so I get about not wanting to be around toxicity. I get you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. I couldn't wait to talk to you about this trailer, Joel. I've been foaming at the mouth because I want to express how much I hated it. So I wanted to talk about, we got a new trailer for Uncharted.
Hated it?
No. I hated, you know what part I hated. Can you guess?
The ending?
Exactly, Joel. I said, oh, hell no. What the hell was that? That's why, I'll never forget my face, bro. When Tom Holland says, "What is that on your face?" I said, "Oh no." And when you see it, I'm just like, God bless y'all. Y'all tried. You really tried your best to make him look as sully as possible.
I'll take that over what we got, honestly.
Yeah, when we thought he wasn't gonna have a mustache, I'm with you there.
100% take whatever mustache I get over that's over nothing. Look at my fucking.
I will say, in all fairness, Mark Wahlberg delivered that line flawlessly, where he's like, "Oh, don't you worry, kid. When puberty hits you soon, you'll be right there." No, right. But in all seriousness, I am very excited for this to become a franchise, and to see obviously where they look to go from here. Because like you and Jamie were saying, you're doing a lot of the really cool stunts in this one movie. So you're kind of like, well, look, we're putting everything in this, hoping that it sells. And if it does, it's like, well, what do you do then? Because it seems like you're selling this movie the same way Tom Cruise has sold every Mission Impossible movie after 3. I'm going to do some crazy shit. Come see it. And it's like, all right, I'm there. Like, so I'm curious, do you just like go higher as far as like what crazy stunts you can do, or is the story what's gonna pull us in? So I'll pass it to you because you've actually played the games. What were your thoughts on this newest trailer, and where do you, not story-wise, because of course we don't know, but do you think this movie franchise is gonna go more like Fast and Furious? Like, what wild stuff can you do now on top of the little story we're sprinkling in there? Or do you think they'll go more game heavy, which really wasn't spectacular of stunts? It was really the story what carried the games, right?
Obviously there was always a big stunt, and there was always the narrative obviously drives it, because there's a lot of stories, a lot of puzzles, and it's a platform game, there's a lot there. It's obviously made to be an action franchise, but it's all built around the story that they're using. I don't know how heavily the story will be focused on. Obviously, there is a story, so at least it's a start. I just don't know how much it matters to them as much as it will be the action. And it's sad because like you were saying, it's kind of the point. Like the point of it's the story, but it's really the experience. And if you can duplicate it in a movie, which I think is tough, then there's nothing you can't do, honestly, because it's a franchise that you can easily make a movie, but you're already kind of starting backwards with the younger Nate. You're taking liberties already,
right?
So now you got to hit on certain other aspects of the genre in that game specifically. So like, we'll see. It's really hard to tell right now. I really hope it does work out because I do love the gaming franchise, that franchise specifically. It's one of the best, and I hope to see more of those games because those games are fantastic. But we'll see. Because right now it just looks like Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. I don't feel Nate and Sully. You know what I mean? Like then I want.
I'd say the only Nate I felt was in this trailer, that one shot of him in like his Nate accurate get up. Even seeing him utilize a gun, it was just like, yeah, this feels right. Like this just feels right.
You have to see him do sound and act and do stuff that Nate would do to make you feel it. Because right now it just looks like Tom Holland in cosplay.
No, that's fair. But also, like I admit to you all the time, I've never played the games really, except for like I told you, the PS Vita one. So to me, it's just seeing him with the shirt, the holster. Like it's like okay, it's you guys are trying. But look, I'll tell you this, Joel. You know how much I love Max Payne. I lived through it, so I'm with you on. You just gotta live up to it, because I watched a full hour and something long movie of Mark Wahlberg just being Mark Wahlberg. I never felt like he was Max Payne ever at any point. He even did Bullet Time, and I hated that. So it's like I get exactly what you're saying. What did you say?
So you can't mess that up. How you mess up Bullet Time?
That's my point, Joel. I'm watching it. I'm just like, oh my god, bro, what the why? Why couldn't you guys just get a no-name guy? I would have 100% accepted that. And I would have accepted it and discarded it a lot better than you going for the bigger name and just failing spectacularly. So for your sake, because I already went through this. I'm sorry, I went through this twice. Hitman and Max Payne. So for you,
You like the first Hitman?
No, I still think it's a classic. I told you when the EP and the star themselves said, "Oh no, this movie was horrible." I'm like, "Oh, I liked it." Like why are you pooping on it so much? I liked your movie. But no, seriously, for your sake, I hope this movie is everything you need it to be. And that it makes a lot of money so that it can continue.
Starting from behind, I'll say that right now, because
definitely are. You definitely.
Well, I mean, no offense to Tom Holland, that was the first. What? Like, you're going young? That's different.
When you said that, I was just like, did he not want to wait for Legend of Zelda? Anyway, but no, I mean, it seems like they're trying to go drastically different. Think about how we felt after Mortal Kombat, where it's just like, wait a minute, hold on, Liu Kang's not the focus. You're creating someone new to be the focus. Why are you starting from there? And you're already starting to where they're about to go into the final tournament. In the second movie, you're going into the final tournament, and it's like, I'm sorry, why? Why are you in a rush? Why couldn't this be a lot earlier on? And then the second movie is the first tournament, and then the second tournament is the second one. I mean, it's the just moving along that way a lot better. So I don't know. They're trying to go different. So there are aspects of Mortal Kombat I liked, but overall, that was a swing and a fucking miss.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I enjoyed it, it was definitely, there's a lot to be desired. So
yeah,
I still want to see more, if that matters. In that regard.
I do too. I won't lie, I do too. Like I said, there were things that I liked. You know how much I love Liu Kang. I even love who they cast for Liu Kang. So I want to see more. It's just you're going in so many weird directions with it that I'm like, I just got to see how it plays out. I got to see how it plays out. So that's why I was hoping it did well enough. That's why I remember when we were doing our reviews, we kept saying, like, go see it. Like, I don't care what anyone said, go see it. So for us that liked it, we can maybe get another shot at it. Like, don't mess it up for everybody because you didn't, because you heard someone didn't like it. All right. Let's move on to the other trailer that we can unequivocally agree we loved, the Batman trailer, the cat in the bat.
Yeah.
I didn't point it out to you before because remember I told you that was my first time seeing it when we saw it live, so I didn't get to sit with it. I didn't notice or realize rather that Batman solved one of the riddles in the trailer. I didn't. Yeah, that was the Justice line, right? Yeah, I didn't
pick up on that.
No, I didn't catch it the first time. When I watched it, obviously a million times after, and I could hear it, like really hear it without me like screaming inside. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, Batman, go ahead and detective the hell out of this thing. So I thought that was awesome. That was really awesome. But everyone just feels like they deliver. They deliver so well, man, from Riddler all the way down.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this movie. Joel, how'd you feel about the trailer?
Fantastic. It was a fantastic trailer. Again, we talked about it earlier, but like it was so good, man. Like I can't wait to see it now. Like that was already too much already. Like that, and like we were saying, that's not even the final trailer. And like, damn, man, what else could they show us without giving us the whole movie at this point?
I mean,
at least
now
that we know of,
Now it kind of feels like, well, look, shout out to Mr. E. He said it. He said, well, we haven't really seen much of Falcone. So it's like, well, you could give us that. You can give us the Penguin.
Yeah,
in
they
the
didn't
next
give us a lot
trailer.
of that.
Yeah, you can
But
give us
there's a
that.
reason he's getting his own series, though. It's probably because
100%.
there's not a lot. There's probably not a
Right.
lot of
So
things.
to me, I kind of feel like you can lighten up on Batman in Catwoman, and kind of focus more on the Riddler, Penguin, and Falcone. Like do a villains trailer, where you're kind of focusing more so on that, and let that be your final trailer, before you announce tickets are on sale. But yeah, I mean, it's just great, man. It's great. I don't have to explain to the audience how I feel about this Batman movie. You guys watch me live, just completely take myself out of everything. I couldn't. I couldn't even. I couldn't even deal with my emotions of watching him walk through a million bullets like it was nothing. I was just like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Oh,
Like, what is this? Oh my god. So to me, I cannot wait for this movie. I know Joel is equally excited. You guys do not have to worry. A review will not take long. Me and Joel will see it as early as physically possible.
possibly, yeah, for sure.
Do not worry about that. Do not worry about
No doubt.
that. And is this a movie that we stay away from spoilers? Do we feel like there could be anything in this movie that's a spoiler? Really?
What do you mean?
Like for Spider-Man, we wanted to avoid social media to just, weed out anything else we could possibly hear. Do we feel like that's necessary for this Batman movie? Like there
I'm
could be
pretty
anything that's
sure
a spoiler?
there's definitely going to be. I think there's going to be some surprises, and whatever the mystery really is,
Mm,
whatever that is, they probably want to keep that a secret too. So yeah, I think there's stuff you're gonna need to stay away from.
okay, no problem. I told you the only thing that could really like make me go, whoa, damn, I wish I just saw that in the movies. And that's if there's any mention of flying Graysons or anything like. Even if it's just a mention, like not a mention like, oh, Bruce is going there or Bruce found, just a mention like Alfred saying you could go to the circus. I heard the flying Graysons are good. I would lose my shit just with that. So to me, anything Bat family related will drive me up the wall. So that I would agree with you. I want to stay far from. But the only other thing that could be a spoiler to me is if we find out that it is connected to something bigger, whether it's its own universe of a Justice League or our universe of a Justice League, whatever. That's really the only thing else.
Yeah, I
You telling
wouldn't.
me? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You never know. Obviously, they have the with Flashpoint. You never count anything out. But I don't know if this will ever connect to anything. Obviously, it'll be its own thing, and I'm fine with that. And I made peace with that. And if they surprise us one day, and it becomes one, we'll see. But as of right now, I'm taking the letter for what it is.
Yeah, I told you if the best we get out of this is just a large Bat family, I'm fine with that. I could sleep easily with that, 100%. Because then just other things in the DCEU, it just wouldn't matter to me anymore. Like Joel would be like, "Yo, you want to go see the Batgirl movie? Well, for which one? The DCEU one, the one with Gal Gadot." And I'm like,
Oh, I'll go that one back or something.
no. I just mean you saying like, "Oh, it's part of that universe, not Matt Reeves' universe." Because if Matt Reeves builds the universe, it'd be hard for me to believe Batgirl.
Well, now we know Batgirl is definitely in the DCU, so we'll see.
Yeah, and we know that she's actually. Let's get into that. Great segue. We got the report, or really the casting call, I guess you would call it.
We got some casting, yeah,
That
official casting.
Right, that Michael Keaton's Batman will indeed be the Batman in our Batgirl movie.
That's right. Now we know officially, as was basically reported when Michael Keaton got the Flash job, that he will be returning as Batman in Batgirl.
Now, I will say
with
this.
a old ass fucking Gordon.
Yes,
So
an old ass Batman, the match.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. I can't wait to see how that dynamic.
I will say this now. Now that we know this, right? I am largely more intrigued in seeing them build a Bat family with this Michael Keaton. This Michael Keaton we've never seen with a Robin.
Oh, I hope there was a Robin, because we never, like you said, never was one.
Right. If there was, I'm fine with that. I can live with that. I'm fine. There will be no complaints from me. But I would have no problem if Michael Keaton now, sorry, not this version. If Michael Keaton now went and got a Robin.
You want Robin now? He's gonna have a Batgirl now. So
no. I want a Batgirl and I want Robins because all I'm saying is if I get Robins, it furthers the narrative of a Terry McGinnis. That's all I want. I want to push that as far to the back as I possibly could.
If you get Robins, it pushes. What?
If it's just Michael Keaton's Batman and Batgirl, right? People will still feel the need to try to shoe in Terry. But if there's Robins, it'll be clear that he's trying to start the Bat family rather than having a Bat family that already existed, that Grayson is old, Tim is old, Jason's old, and he now just got a Batgirl. But Terry could still be in play. That's what I'm saying. Because all I'm saying is if you chose Michael Keaton to be your Batman, that's a bet I want them to lay in. Don't try to pawn this off to Terry McGinnis. Because you could have just did a younger Batman in that universe. You didn't have to go 60 years old.
But they have a young Batman in his own universe.
They do, but
that's why they did that.
Oh my God. I hate the sound of that. Oh.
The truth. How is that not the truth? What's the point of having two young Batmen?
What's the point of having two separate universes? There's no point in anything there.
That's already established. You can't. It's already done. Then to them, they're like, well, it makes no sense to have two young Batman. You can't step on this kid's toes.
Well, my problem with that is
complete opposite.
My problem with that is no one told you to be stupid enough to do that. So yes, give me two young Batman.
What Matt Reeves wanted. So Matt Reeves got what
so you tell him that's your own thing. We're not stepping on toes. That will exist as its own thing.
You can't have two young Batman. It's like having two young Spider-Man at the same time. And that's why I don't want that to be a thing. It doesn't why would you step on the other one's toes? That's my issue.
Because you have one side that won't bend. It needs to be connected. I just had
it should be connected, but you can't have the young Batman and another young Batman almost doing the exact same thing. It makes no sense.
One gets to interact with the Justice League. That's the only difference. But that's all. That's the only.
And if that's the only difference, that's why they don't give a fuck, and that's why he's old.
That will forever break my heart, bro.
No, I agree.
I have to watch a young Batman never interact with.
Why do you think I was afraid of Ben leaving? For that specific reason.
Yo, now you know what? Now that you're putting it like this, bro, I hope this Batman movie does phenomenally. No, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I hope the movie is phenomenal, but I hope it makes no fucking money. So you can get Matt Reeves to walk away so that you can bring the ship back into orbit and we can have a young Bruce Wayne working with other young Justice League members. You just can't sell me.
We still haven't figured out what we're doing with Superman, dude. Like that's also in limbo. Those two, like right now, those two, like we know what we're doing with Batman. Batman is going to be always going to be the old head of the whole thing. Cool, whatever, fine, we get it. But the issue, what about Superman? Like, what's going on there?
Oh man, just when I thought we weren't ever gonna get into this again, DC just reminds me how much I do have a somewhat loathe for them. Like, goodness gracious, man,
it's stupid. But like, I want to see how it plays out. We'll see. How they manage it. I don't like it. Don't mean I have to like it. I haven't liked it.
So then you know what? That makes me even more terrified. Because if what you're saying is legit what they're thinking, and let's go with 100% that is what they're thinking, then that 100% means we're going to get Terry McGinnis.
But
because that's the only way. But that's the only way you can go young, and it will have no effect on Robert Pattinson's Batman.
That's true.
That's terrifying.
I'm not against that though, and I was always fine with it because it would be a very different Terry McGinnis. Because obviously it'd be more modern day. Right. But again, we'll have to see how Batgirl does. Is there a Nightwing? We don't know. If there isn't, then maybe. But with a Batgirl there, we'll see how that's fleshed out. Will there be other like members of the Bat family aside from Batgirl? That's really the question. If it doesn't, then maybe it will become Terry McGinnis, and there is some type of Batman Beyond. But I don't know. It makes no sense to have Batgirl and Batman. That kind of defeats the purpose almost. So
But
I don't know.
that's why I said I would like. And again, from you saw the interview when I talked to Chris McKay. He said they didn't tell me that Nightwing was off the table. And when we talked about Nightwing, it was never that he was supposed to be part of anything.
Right.
So I'm like, well, that's weird. Like, that's very weird. Like, Nightwing only exists because of a Batman. So whose Batman are you now trying to attach to him? Like, it make no sense. Now, could you do a Bloodhaven Nightwing that never calls Bruce for help? Sure, 100%. But you still would have to explain that there is a Batman.
You were a Robin, and there was a Batman.
Right. Like
hopefully that was. Hopefully, if it comes to that, then maybe there is a Nightwing, and it was Keaton's Batman, and blah blah blah, and then we could still.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, and I would accept that. I wouldn't fight that at all. If there is a Nightwing, but he's not like super old, like he didn't get this Nightwing 30 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He was in his 40s.
Right. He's not that much older than what our Batgirl is. That's all I'm saying.
Right. They're around the same age. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But he started training him young.
Right. How old is she supposed to be? Now I'm not, because I know you don't know her.
I think she's in her 20s. It looks like.
Okay, then I'd have no problem if Nightwing was in his 30s, like 31, 32, around there.
Yeah. Early 30s.
Yeah. I would accept that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'd be fine with that. And because he's Nightwing and not Robin anymore, there leaves the door open to actually get Jason at some point.
You could always have Jason.
Because look, I'll say this: depending on how we feel about Keaton when we see Flashpoint, when he suits up again, I don't throw it out of there. I don't throw it out of the realm of possibility to do a lot of Batman storylines with Keaton, depending on how good he looks in that suit. Because we know a lot of the stunt stuff, they just put someone else in the suit. So we don't have to worry about that. But if he looks,
I think he could pull off some of the stunts anyway. But yes, I agree.
Yeah. But if he looks good, right, I would love to see some of those Jason storylines play out. I 100% would like to see that.
It's gonna be so fun. I watched Batman recently, '89.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
I watched Returns for Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah, I watched.
As you should.
It's a Christmas movie. It's a great Christmas movie.
Yeah. But yeah, just as upset as I know a lot of people are, like it's gonna be so fucking surreal watching him again as Batman. It really is.
I can be more accepting to it if what we're saying is more of a possibility than we ever thought before.
And you know what the best part about that possibility is? It's not that much. It's not asking too much.
No, not at all.
Batgirl and Nightwing with Batman. That's not that bad. It's not a lot. You already have a Batgirl. You know he's in the same universe. Just include Nightwing. That's all.
And here's the fun thing, Joel. Nightwing fills in the one criteria we ask for the Bat family members to have when you have a movie that takes place in Gotham. He works out in Bloodhaven. So we don't have to have Nightwing in a Batgirl movie. So we don't have to say anything like, oh, it's so hard to believe it's in Gotham and Bruce and Nightwing aren't helping. No, it's very plausible. He's dealing with stuff in Bloodhaven. And that's how you can bring in Slade. So you could do so many things with this Michael Keaton Batman that won't mess anything up because of his age.
Absolutely. And then you can give Nightwing and Batgirl a big push in that universe and just have Batman as more of a mentor role for not just them, but the entire Justice League. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, because Batgirl could be like the leader of the Bat family, right? Like his icto facto leader, because again, Nightwing's focus might be Bloodhaven and Titans. So you need someone whose focus is just Gotham. Someone whose focus is just Gotham. And Batgirl could be that. She could be watching over Jason Todd, or if you want to skip Jason and go right to Tim. So there's just so much you can do. But to me, we never got to see Under the Red Hood in live action.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that with Keaton. There's nothing about Keaton's age that stops us from going through that.
No, you're right. I mean, it depends on how many. First we got to find out if ever in this world will they give him a Robin, or if they at least if he had a Robin. That's what I'm saying. Right. And they probably will touch on that. You know, we'll see if he ever had a Robin, and if he did he leave? Where'd he go? You know, like
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Was
He's
his
probably
Bruce Wayne more so like the Titans Bruce Wayne? That was very much like they're disposable. So like one died, who cares? Whatever.
none of that. None
You
of
don't
that.
like that? You don't like where he's just like, all right, this Robin died. Next. All right, you died. Next. Uh,
Oh God, that was the worst. Come on, like how do you hate him so much that you just do that?
Like, do you know how psychotic it is to say, all right, this child died. Next. Like, what?
Yeah,
No, that was never Bruce.
that show really doesn't like Bruce Wayne.
They don't, and you know what's even crazier, Joel? I don't think people realize how long it took for him to get to Tim Drake after Jason died.
Yeah.
That wasn't like the next issue. Like it wasn't. It was like, all right, Jason died. All right, so here's Tim Drake. No, it was a long time. I think Jason had even came back as Red Hood before they even got to Tim Drake.
No, Tim was definitely Tim.
Tim came
way before Jason became Red Hood. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like that whole Red Hood, that was all after Hush.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm sorry, because I'm thinking back to the comic series where they were asking fans like, should Jason die? Should he not die? And then when he died, I thought it wasn't that long.
Well, that was what?
They brought in.
Maybe the end of the 80s when that happened. And like Drake was there in the 90s. Like most of the 90s it was all Tim. Tim was Robin forever.
Dude,
bro.
That's right. Wasn't Tim in the animated series?
In the second we'll go around.
The second one, yeah.
It was Dick and then Tim. They skipped Jason.
Right. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, sorry.
I love how we've talked ourselves into the fucking this side thing of the DC.
I love this because again, it is a scenario that I could understand someone not liking.
Yeah,
easily. I understand.
Not confusing then.
If we can talk anyone into accepting it because of what the possibilities could be, I'm all game for it, bro. Excuse me, I'm all for it. So I like that we talked myself into believing.
I like it too, but like first of all, we still need. I would love to see Nightwing get some love. So hopefully, maybe it is. If it's Nightwing and Batgirl taking over for Batman as the main figureheads of the DCEU, I'm all for it. But we gotta see. You gotta wait.
Right. Yeah. So look, it leaves a lot to be desired, but it does leave a few possibilities that sound really freaking cool when you give it thought. So I'm down. I'm down to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, I'm more open to it now that we've talked it out, but
100%.
We'll see.
Joel, we've talked it up so much. It's now what I expect. Like, if I don't get that, I will hate anything else.
We don't know about Nightwing yet. We'll see.
We don't, but look, I will promise you guys this right now. I will hound Chris McKay. The more news we hear about Michael Keaton's Batman and how long that contract is, I will hound this man as much as I possibly can.
If you're not gonna give us a young Batman, give us Nightwing and Batgirl.
Yeah, give us the Bat family. Give us what lives on.
Yeah, he's way old enough to be there now, so why not have a resemblance of it? Even if he doesn't have it in the beginning of the Flash movie, maybe everything changes. You never know now, right?
Yeah, and I'm curious if everything changes, does your Joker stay the same? Because I can accept an old Michael Keaton. I will not accept Jack Nicholson back as the Joker.
Oh no, you don't. He's dead.
Yeah, I can't do that. But I also don't want them to pull a Gotham and say like, "Oh, this is a new Joker." So that's what I'm saying.
That's the go Joker is like Batman Beyond. That'd be interesting.
Oh no, wasn't that was that Tim? Who was that Joker?
No. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I'm talking about the gang, the Jokers, not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Look, I see. You know what makes it so difficult, Joel? You know what I could accept if they had not messed it up because of how they treat this character today.
What's that?
I could have accepted Harley Quinn being the leader of that Joker gang, but you made her such a cool hero. You can't go back now.
Yeah. Well, her grandkids. Well, in the cartoon, those two girls are her grandchildren.
Right. But I feel like if you do that, you're conceding to the fact that in this universe we will never have a Joker again. And because I don't know if Matt Reeves has a Joker planned,
I'm pretty sure he does. That's why I don't care as much, because that's over. You don't need the Joker in that world. Joker's done, right? So.
Oh, that hurts my soul so much.
You don't need it.
No, I agree with you. If Matt Reeves does Joker, I'm fine. But to be done with a Joker, you literally got 3 sprinkles of, is very disheartening. Like Jared Leto did a cool job, and I would have loved to have seen him do something else in that world.
You're not gonna get both. You lost Ben. You're gonna lose Jared. Period. That's it. You lose both. Done.
I hate this world we live in. Joel, go open up Earth 616. I want to go live there.
Yeah, I want to know how to explain Harley Quinn in this world now, though.
It'd be very interesting. It'd be very interesting. That's why I said so much of this is interesting. But here's the crazy thing, Joel. Because you made Harley a hero, they never have to interact.
True. But
like they literally never have to come in contact with each other ever. Because you use Harley literally for Suicide Squad and other stuff. She could be literally anywhere at any point.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like I can't even look forward to that interaction. Like, are they gonna have them interact? I don't know.
I doubt they will, but I mean, it is the fact that they technically in the same universe now, or will be.
I'm 100%.
They have to. You got to kind of explain it now. Like,
well, okay, I'll say this, Joel. I'll say this. If you ever give me, let me not say you, so make it sound like I'm saying you, but if they ever give us a story of Harley where she's in Gotham at any point, and it doesn't get explained in a Batgirl or Batman movie going forward, I will then feel very disrespected. Like, well, she's in Gotham City. They're in Gotham City. I don't understand. Why is there no mentioning of any of that? Wouldn't that be something Batman is intrigued by? But then again, it's confusing because it's like, well, will this Michael Keaton even say anything? Because in his world, not only was Joker dead, there was no one else. There was no Harley Quinn. So to him, that might all be new to him. What? A Harley? What's that? You got a motorcycles here?
What is a one of a who?
It's like, no, she works with Joker. Oh, my Joker died, so I did my job. Why didn't your Batman do his? Why is your
I mean, I just come up with something clever. Like,
you know what? When it comes to that, Joel, we'll assess this the same way we assess the X-Men. It's up to them to tell it, not us. You go do your job.
Yeah, I can't figure. I mean, I can't. That's not my job to think of.
And
come
if
up
I was
with
getting paid, if I was getting paid, I would 100% give you all the thoughts.
I'll figure something else, right? Yeah.
But I'm not getting paid to do so. So you guys go cash your checks and figure that out on your own.
Yeah,
all right, let's move on. Did you check out Matrix yet?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. Goodness gracious, I don't know what I watched. I really don't.
It was a movie.
My main issue with it was the same issue I told you I had with Black Widow. You added nothing to the necessity of this movie being made. You didn't even do anything towards the end to where we could at least go, oh, it's spoiler alert, by the way, to everyone. Spoiler alert, sorry. I didn't spoil anything for you yet, but now I'm going to. You didn't do anything at the end of this movie for people to go, oh, so it's now on them, or it's now on her, or it's on him. You literally ended it with the 2 people I was saying I don't need to see any more of. I thought this was like a goodbye. This was no. If this does well, we want to do more. Why would them? Like, the Matrix apparently can exist without the 2 of them. Why are you holding on to them so dearly? So that was my biggest issue, because I thought the whole point of this, and then I remember someone telling me, well, make sure you wait to the end credits. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is when I get it.
That was a joke.
I was like, bro, this is almost worse than singing to me in Hawkeye. Like, what did I just watch? What was the point of that? So to me, I did not enjoy this movie for the main purpose of, I thought it was to further the narrative of the world of Matrix, like passing it on. You essentially just said I'm reigniting it. And to that I will say, no one asked for any more Matrix. So for you to have the audacity to tell us, well, guess what? You're going to get more. I don't like it. And remember, the first thing I said to you was, I'm very curious why only one Wachowski came back. So I can't wait to see what the direction is that one of them said, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to come back to do this. Now I know. Now I know that Lana's sister said, oh, this is horrible. No, thank you. You put your name on there. No, keep this far away from me. And the last thing I'll say before I pass it to you, Joel, I don't feel as though they explained not having Lawrence Fishburne well enough.
No, they.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a movie that I watched.
Go ahead, Joel. Go ahead.
I don't want to say I disliked it because I didn't dislike it. It was very meh, and I hate saying the word meh, but that's exactly how I felt at the end. I'm like, oh, it happened. I watched it. Was it bad? Not really. Was it good? Not really. So it's like that's how I felt about it.
Bro, I was so frustrated. First of all, let me tell you what upset me the most, okay? When they're on the roof and they're like, all right, we got to jump. And they jump and they're like levitating. And Neil's like, that's not me. Is that you? And she's like, oh, I guess so. So it's like, I'm sorry. Are you telling me you could pass being the one through a kiss or a high five?
No, I don't. I think the point is that it's never been the one. It's always been them. I think that's the point.
If that is the case, Joel, no problem. My only BS meter to that is you did nothing to set that up in 1, 2, or 3. He died with everyone saying, well, he saved the day. No one knowing Trinity was in that cockpit. Everyone said Neo saved the day. He's the one. What did you ever do to set up like, but if he's not the one? So at least in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, they did set up. Maybe there's more to it. They never did. So you jam pack it in this movie? Yeah, no. Sorry. And look, I'll say this. I know people didn't like movies like Venom. I felt more from Venom than I did from this movie.
I did too. But to be fair, I enjoy that character Venom more than I do the whole Matrix. But that's just me.
That's what frustrates me. I love Neo and still said to myself, there's no reason this movie needs to be made. So I said, all right, cool. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see why. Like, why don't you have Lawrence? Why are you bringing this franchise back? Why did only one Wachowski come back? And by the end of that movie, I kind of felt like, well, you didn't properly answer why Lawrence wasn't back, besides I assume either bad blood or money. You did not explain what the need for bringing this franchise back was. And last but not least, you were trying to recreate movies we already seen within this movie. Your new Mr. Anderson, or I'm sorry, Smith.
Yes. Smith. There was a whole bunch of new faces with old names.
It was just like, and God bless Neil Patrick Harris. I will tell you this, Neil Patrick Harris, if Jim Carrey never existed, you would have been the perfect comedy Riddler. I mean, perfect. The guy would have oozed it. But this was just like, how did you get so many people I like and just make me, like Joel said, go, meh. Like, meh. Goodness gracious, this was horrible. But anyway, I'm not going to ask you to give a rating because I'm sure you only saw it once. So I'll let it sit with you a little bit more, but I am 100% only giving this a 4. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'll just do it for me, and I'm only giving it a 4.
Yeah. I didn't hate the movie. I just whatever. That's how I feel about it.
Oh man. All right, let's move on to things that are better.
Can I say one thing before we do?
Absolutely, yeah.
Not about the Matrix, because I want to go back to the press release with Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
back.
Yeah.
Well, there was a press release for the Flash movie too, and it mentioned that Michael Shannon and Ante will be back.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's cool because we're gonna see Zod and Fiora, right? So back. But I felt that it was interesting in the press release. It does not mention Ben Affleck at all, and we know he's in the movie. Like, it's
We
like
do. That's
that's
interesting.
just,
And it has everybody else. It has
uh,
Ezra, Sasha.
Ezra, Ron Livingston, Michael Keaton, Kiersey Clemens, Michael Shannon, Antetra, or whatever her name is, how to pronounce it, Sasha Cal, and Michael Keaton twice.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton. So,
that is weird.
they made sure to say Michael Keaton twice in this press release.
Michael,
But
and then Keaton, and then Michael Keaton. No, that is weird. But maybe it lends to the fact that you don't really want to give him top billing to kind of give any hope, because we do believe he's only briefly in this movie.
yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, when he came back and we saw the pictures and like, maybe he would be down for more. Who knows? I let it creep in again. I'm like, because it doesn't make sense for him. Because as soon as it all changed when we found out what Gordon it was.
Right.
Once we found out what Gordon was, I was like, well, now it really doesn't make sense for Michael Keaton to be there.
Right. I mean, look, I think I gave up hope in the trailer where you get a shot of his cow on the ground, and I'm like, I don't think they're gonna kill him off, but I do think it'll be somewhat of a sacrifice for Barry, because they did a really poor job of building up that relationship between Barry and Bruce. So I could see them doing something very corny, like Ben sacrifices himself and Michael Keaton decides to fill in for that Batman. I see that, Joel, because there's no other way to explain how we're in this world. And
you can't do that. Like, I'm gonna step into this universe, and now I'm.
I mean, look, to the rest of the world, they're just like, you seem just as old, so it works.
No.
I only see that because, again, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know how else you explain that we had this face. Now it's this face.
It's a flashpoint. It doesn't matter. The universe changes. This has always been Batman now. That's how flashpoint works.
So then if that's the case, then we have to wipe out everything, not everything, but most of what we just said about what Keaton's reactions would be, because now it means his history is whatever the history of that Batman was. So it's not.
No. His history is whatever the new history is. We don't know because it's a combination of the what was and what is.
So that's what I'm thinking. You can wipe out so much of what was, because there's such a large gap of what his story was.
Right. Well, that's the problem now too, because now it was already a big gap with Ben Affleck's Batman. Right. It's a larger gap now.
Way larger gap.
It's like,
so now it's just like,
whoa, not 20 years. We're talking 40 years.
Right. So now it's just like, well, are any of your villains even still alive, or do our new villains become your villains?
It's a whole new mess to sort out. But they can tell whatever story they want to tell now, honestly.
Also, they do have an opportunity to, in the movie, before reality gets swapped, right? And we get the new reality to where his Batman's always been the Batman, for him to say to Barry, yeah, I did go through a blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, okay. So you did have that, and that.
Right. Yeah, that's the only time you'll have it. It's like, this is my world. This is your world. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening over there. He goes back, and now it's like a blend of both worlds. And like, he lost. He'll probably be the only one that remembers the Ben Affleck Batman. You know what I mean? In his Barry.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I fucking lost that. And maybe you're right. Maybe it was a sacrifice, but you get what I'm saying? The world doesn't know that.
Oh no, okay. I see what you're saying. But I do still think he does make a sacrifice to Barry. Again, I wish you could have spent more time with them together for it to mean maybe a little bit more. But it will be interesting. It will be really interesting to see how all that plays out, because that one Barry in the trailer being very, very, very surprised to see a Batcave, a Batman, and a Batmobile. Makes me very confused as to, is that Flash from Keaton's universe, or is that Flash from a whole nother universe that has a Batman, but he never got to like actually see Batman? He just only heard about it.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah,
very
we don't
curious
know.
to see how that plays out.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's a Barry Allen from that universe.
I would love a Keaton Flash. That'd be awesome. A Tim Burton Tim Burton Flash. What would that even look like?
Yeah, Tim Burton
That
Flash.
would be awesome.
Yeah, what would that look like?
It'd be trippy. I tell you that. It'd be trippy. That's that's in my head now.
It can't end.
Yeah, like man, somebody call that man and see if he can't do a Flash movie real quick so I can see how it looks.
I want to know like what are they gonna do with General Zod is coming back? So it's like which world?
Means, though,
it's
right?
very confusing. Like,
you know what that means though, right?
What?
That means it's Supergirl's General Zod.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're gonna go the route of there was never a Clark. There was never a Clark in her universe. She was the obviously Supergirl, but the Superman of her universe, and Zod and what's her name were coming to take down her. Because I could see her defeating Zod and then Barry pulling her from that moment.
It does seem like they're trying. I don't know. Based on like the concept art and all that extra shit, it does seem like they're taking a aspect of Flashpoint, where she's been like
drained,
being kept.
Right. Yeah.
And
he wasn't exposed to sunlight.
Right. Yeah. Right. So like, if they do it, it'll be Flashpoint Superman, but instead of Superman, it's Supergirl.
I'm very interested if they did the Avengers level trick of scenery, only because that Superman was like super skinny. She was super thick and standing behind those two berries. Like she didn't look like she's been drained of anything.
No, but you don't have to be as dramatic.
No, not really. But
she's already a thin girl to begin with.
It does have to be. It could just even be in the face, but it does have to show because again, the reason why that was so poignant was Superman is big, so you slendered him. So I'm like, well, what do you do when someone's not really big? They're almost slender themselves. Do you just say that she was drained because she's never been exposed?
Well, we got to see when if they do it, you got to see when they pull her out of it how she looks. Once she gets a son, it might change.
Which was interesting because Flashpoint didn't do that.
What?
Once he got exposed, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't eat though. Probably that's what.
That might also be what did not help. Picture saying he's an alien.
Maybe,
it's like
maybe they fed this one.
What is he doing in his room all day?
They didn't feed Clark. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they're doing because again, our fear was they were trying to retcon Henry Cavill. That was our biggest fear. So bringing in Zod,
like I said, we still
kind of sounds like it's rewriting things. So
well, again, that might be from a different world, so we don't know.
I hope so.
And once it gets merged, how does it look? We have no idea.
Yeah, because to Barry, you've lived all this already. You've lived Zod becoming, what's the
Zod's dead in his world.
No. But remember what Lex turned Zod into? Why can't I think of his name?
Doomsday.
Yes, Doomsday. So Barry seeing him again might just be like, what the fuck? Like you're dead where I come from. Right. It's like I'm not dead now, bitch. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out for sure. All right, so let's move on to Witcher season 2. Our spoiler, it's kind of like just our spoiler thoughts. We're not gonna sit here and break down the whole season.
Yeah, I don't remember enough of their names to spoil anything.
Oh God,
I can just go this person, that person.
Vesemir. That's it.
I know Vesemir.
Vesemir. That's about it. Vesemir. But as we said earlier, this did follow more straight through rather than kind of like it happened back then.
It was more linear.
Now and then back then. It was all now. But I did love that we got what we saw in Witcher 3, which is when they were training her to become a Witcher. I was really and let me just say it was dumb of me. I put it on me, not them.
I blame you as well.
I really did think they would go a little bit harder on her wanting to become a Witcher. And us seeing, more of the training, her with a sword. Because I love that in the game where you have to go to the one part where you're playing as her killing the wolves helping the
Yeah,
kid
but
out.
she's older then. Yeah.
She is, but to me, I don't want them to make us wait that long. Like, it's okay if you just make her a Witcher younger than what she was in the game, to follow the actress, because you're obviously not going to recast. She's perfect in that role.
I'm not do. You don't have to be this season, is what I'm saying. We're
Oh,
not. It's
no,
not.
no, no, no.
You're not near Witcher 3 yet in the story, so.
Right. No, no, no. I didn't mean she became a Witcher. I just wanted to see her utilize the sword, is what I'm saying. Utilize the sword and kind of just less reliant on screaming, more relying on actually fight a little bit. So that's it. But I did love the training montage. It wasn't exactly like what we saw in Witcher 3, but it was pretty damn accurate. It was great to look at.
It relies more on the books than the game.
In the game, yeah. Because the game, she was doing like flips off pegs and shit, and it was just like, oh my god. Like,
well, she can also she can teleport and that shit. There's
yeah,
a lot of
it was crazy. But I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this show a lot, and I'm telling you, man, the more I see of that chick that plays Yennefer, the more I'm just like, I know a perfect mutant you could be. I just really do. I know a perfect mutant you could be in the MCU. I want her as Mystique, bro. I really do. The more I see her, like, just flowing between both sides of, can I trust her? Can I not trust her? I'm like, and she would 100% stay in blue. 100%. I wouldn't even have to worry about that.
True, what?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
Oh no, I said she would stay in blue. 100%. I wouldn't even have to ever worry about that. She looks very, whatever I need to do to be this character to the best of my ability, because she plays a little bit different of a Yennefer than I remember from The Witcher 3. But again, this is supposed to be before The Witcher 3, so who knows what the hell Yennefer, between me and you, who the hell knows what Yennefer was like?
In Witcher 3, she's getting her memory back.
Right.
She went amnesia, some bullshit.
Yeah. I'm going through it again now, so when I get there, I'm gonna pay closer attention.
I just started it again, but I'm playing the DLC, so.
Okay, I get you. I wanted to go through it again because I told you I beat it, and I swear I did. But I swear I don't remember any of the end of that game, so I want to kind of just run through it again.
100% sure you didn't beat it.
Yeah, no, you didn't hear any definitiveness there. I wouldn't doubt it if I didn't.
Knowing
I told you so many times I walked away from that game, so I believe it. But I just feel like, because I've played it so often, that I assume I had to have beaten it. Like, at some point I had to say, you know what, let me just finish this before I do something else. But probably not. But no, I enjoyed this, and Henry Cavill is just, goodness gracious, this man is just perfect in this role, bro. Excuse me. And of course, getting, what's his name back that sings "Toss a Coin to Your Witcher"?
Well, in the show.
In the
show, it's called Jaskier.
Jaskier, okay.
And the game is, in the books, Dandelion.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they didn't go that route. But no, I enjoyed this a lot. There is a show trope, or a Hollywood trope that they follow all the time, and I hate. It's when you have so many characters, you're embarking them on different journeys. And then at some point you bring that one common journey together where you bring them all together. I hate that. I hate that so much, man. I am always stay together, bro. Find her, stay together. Watching Yennefer's journey of like, all right, I left with him. Now we join the elves. Now he's back home. Now I'm leaving. And it's just like, oh my God. It's just so many places you guys are going. So many things I have to pay attention to. But it was great, and the ending was sick. I did not see that coming. I was just like, I say what? Like, just when she took them into that world, and then he comes back and he's telling Vesemir, it's all the Wild Hunt, bro. It's like, what? We were on the Wild Hunt 3. Like, like what Wild Hunt is this the first Wild Hunt? The second one? So I enjoyed it. And then, of course, the jaw-dropping moment of finding out her dad is still alive. And then, of course, the end credit scene of the new show.
Yes, that was. I already seen that trailer, but I didn't even realize that was going to be there. Cool.
I didn't remember it. So I was watching. I was just like, oh, okay. I still have no idea what the hell I was looking at, but it looks cool.
It's a prequel. It takes place like I think 1,000 years before that show.
Who are the? Is it
Oh
anyone we know? Like
no, because
characters we know?
it takes place. It's the origin of the Witcher, literally. They
Oh,
create
so
they
before
create
Witcher.
the first Witcher. Yeah,
Got you. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, now I'm more interested.
that's why you don't see any Witchers.
See, that's why I was confused. I'm like, is this about the elves? What the fuck is this about? Okay, maybe I should have just
It
looked.
is about the elves because the origin of magic starts with them.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't fully off. Okay, all right. I'm like, I thought I paid attention to something. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, they're the reasons the humans know magic.
I bet you they regret that shit. We shouldn't have taught y'all nothing.
Humans, evil motherfucker.
Like, what is wrong with y'all? But no, Joe, I've done enough talking. What were your thoughts on season 2 of The Witcher?
Awesome. Like I loved this the first season, and that was non-linear as fuck. But
Joel
this one,
did not get that out.
non-linear. But I really enjoyed the second season a lot. I want to see it again because like I feel like it went by too fast for me. I was like, damn, I gotta watch it again.
Yeah, when I got to 5, I was just like, shit, I'm on 5. I'm like, jeez.
When it ended, I'm like, this is over now. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
And I told you I was so angry because I don't want to say rush because I didn't rush through it, but I only moved as swiftly as I did through it because I forgot Book of Boba was this week. So I'm like, well, I don't really have anything to watch, so this is what I have to watch, and then I just have to wait for whatever comes next. And it was like, Book of Boba is next week, and I'm like,
motherless bitch, man.
I'm like, all right, and then let me finish this. So I'm like, I told you I stopped at 7 when 7, yeah, at 7 when I did, and then I think the other day I was like, fuck it, I'll finish it.
Fuck it.
But no, it was really good, and Vesemir is awesome, bro. I love seeing Vesemir.
He is awesome. He's thy man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Vesemir. I like that because the animated movie has a lot of references in the second season too, and he's the main character of the animated movie. So.
I'm gonna rewatch that. I think I told you I never finished it, so I'm gonna rewatch that.
Yeah, I really like that. I want to watch it again now though, because with like remembering everything that they talked about in the second season. Okay.
I'm with you on that.
They got a little crazy. They went crazy in that anime, but it was good. It was good. You get a little background. You can see young Geralt. You see Geralt. You see young. Well, who was it? I forget their names now. Cohen.
I forgot all their names.
They killed. See, that's the thing about the game in the show that's already different is them killing Eskil. Spoilers. They killed him off, and I'm like, he's not dead in the game. Like,
right, yeah.
I'm very confused by that. I was like, all right, sure. Choice was made.
Like, you had to just accept it, I guess.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I couldn't do anything. I was like, all right, well, I did not expect that. Whatever. Sure. They gave
sure. All right.
Yeah. They gave Cohen a bigger role than I remember him having. So, all right, whatever. Sure. Why not? Cool. I mean, I wanted to see more Witchers. I got to see way more Witchers, and they killed off a couple Witchers too. Like
they did.
Which
is crazy because I'm like, are there more? Like, like you're killing a couple. Are there? There's supposed to be more? Is it? Like, geez, right. Slow down. Like, to be fair, we only care about 2 of them, but slow down. Like, relax. Let's keep some Witchers around.
Good. Yeah, they were going ham. I was like, all right, well, shit, run. Like, run, everyone, run.
Like, get the hell out of there. Oh man, that's too funny. I can't stop laughing. That's too funny. So me and Joel did enjoy Witcher season 2. If you have not seen it, please go see it. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun, and we'll be breaking it down in the new year. So don't think that this is our only review.
Correct.
But all right, let's move on. I want to talk about what do I want to talk? Oh, yes, I know what I want to talk about next. I want to talk about Young Justice.
You know nothing.
Young Justice. Let me ask you this, Joel, because I mean this in all sincerity. When will the Young Justice start to get bad?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you're into. It could be bad right now if you're really not into the
Like,
current
will it
stuff.
just continue to decide to just continue to be this fucking good? Like, how dare you? How dare you be good from episode 1 of season 1 to all the way right now? How dare you?
That's good too, because like
the audacity.
The audacity.
The audacity to have the nerve to be consistently good. How dare you? But this episode got pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I thought we were about to see the last of your boy, Joel.
My boy.
Dr. Fate.
Oh, you're not gonna see the end of Dr. Fate. You may see the end of Giovanni.
Joel's like, he finna die. But Dr. Fate is gonna say, all right.
But yeah, they introduced Khalid or whatever. As soon as they introduced that kid this season, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill this motherfucker.
That's gonna break Zatanna. Because he loves her so much. And I love getting his backstory.
Yes, too. That's a character that never gets any love. So
no. But I will say this. And actually, let me not use that example because that might be too much. But I would 100% never want to be a part of Earth again. If I'm robbing a bank and I come outside and a motherfucker is saying "Alakazam, Alakazoo," and like I'm now floating in the air and I now get arrested. No, I will not get to prison. They're like, yo, did Batman do it? No. Superman? No. Flash? No. How'd you get in here? It's a fucking magician. What? Yeah, it's like, well, how did you get in here? Bitch, I fought Superman. It's like, fuck. Like, I knew I shouldn't have robbed a bank in that city. I knew it. Something was off.
But no, guy.
Right? It's like, well, did he pull a bunny out of his hat? How did he arrest you? I don't know, man. He said words and then I floated. I don't know.
Literally.
Like, I don't know how to explain it more than that. I did think though it was weird when he was saying Nelson when he became friends with Nelson. He's like, yeah, Nelson even sat in for me when I couldn't be with my family. He was like, oh, Nelson slept with your wife, 100%. 100%, bro, 1,000%. You made that very evident.
That was tapping him in the side, man.
Right? He's like, yeah, Nelson did a good job.
I'll watch your family.
I'm gonna watch him real good. But no, I enjoyed the episode. I don't know what's going on with one of these chaos chicks, or people rather. The chick. I don't know what's going on with her. She's wild. She's crazy.
She's evil, yeah. Little girl.
So
it explains the whole speeding bus at the end there too. Like, oh, because
I do love how they looped that around. Yeah, that was awesome. I was like, what the fuck is that? I saw that.
They were going back in time. I'm like, I remember this. This is old. Why is he wearing trunks? He doesn't wear trunks anymore. Superboy's alive. I'm very confused. Like this is old.
But no, I really did love that, and I love that he kept looking for a hero. He looked Green Arrow right in the eye and said,
nah, not the heroes I'm looking for.
No, not at all. I'd rather be a bus.
Green Arrow, Black Canary twice.
He kept looking at heroes like, oh God, absolutely not. No, Jesus, no. I'm watching Raw and Miz just almost fell up the stairs.
I forgot about Raw. Raw's over.
It's doing the Miz and Maurice renewing their vows, but he almost fell up the stairs. That was crazy. But yeah, so I enjoyed the episode. You like the episode too?
Yeah, man. It's like every week we get this arc has been great. I love the supernatural arc of it. We got to see this dude. What was the wizard?
Yes, we did see the wizard. Yep.
That was cool, bro. Like, holy shit. You know that is, right? That's the guy. That's the character from JSA, the first season.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait. The kid's dad?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. Because I'm like, no, he doesn't mean the kid.
No, not the kid.
He doesn't mean the kid's dad. Okay. No, so I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see how this magical arc ends and then what the new arc is. That's what I'm more intrigued by, is to see what that new arc is. Excuse me. But all right, let's move on. I want to talk Dexter, man.
Dexter.
What a freaking episode, Joel. I love how Dexter's finally just like,
I just gotta tell you. It's like,
listen up here, kid. You know those urges you get? Nah, I've had a few of them. A few? I've had a few million of them. Actually, this mess we're in now is because of one of my urges. Right before you got here, I killed someone.
that was a very cute ending because then he hugs him. He's like, "That's all I wanted to hear you say." He's like, "I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you because you make me sound like a crazy person. I am crazy."
To be fair, again, to be fair to Dexter, when your kid first shows up and starts exhibiting some of those impulses, the last thing you want to do is jump out too early and go, "Oh my God, you want to kill? Oh, let me tell you how many people I've killed." Oh man, I killed a guy just like a few days ago. You can't just bring that on to the kid so you can better understand them. Now Dexter is in a position where he's like, "Oh,
I have no choice."
Yeah, he can handle it at this point, right? And besides, if he snitches on me, I'll tell the cops, "Hey, if you guys paid attention to any of these scenes, he stabbed that kid first." Like, I can prove it.
You guys actually did your jobs,
correctly. You guys are competent at all.
Because now the sheriff or whatever is starting to like put things together, and she's like, "He's gonna," and then he's the butcher, bitch. Oh motherfucker! Right. She's getting too far into there now.
You know what's crazy? I've loved her character since episode 1, but this episode I was just like, "See, now you gotta die. You could have left it alone.
Now you gotta die.
Now we gotta kill you." And I said we like I was part of the team. Like now we gotta do it. Now me, Dexter, his son, we gotta get in the truck and we gotta come to your house. You could have avoided all this.
All of it.
All of it. Just mind your business.
Yep.
Mind your business. You didn't like that kid anyway. Who cares that Dexter killed him, right? No, is that wrong for me to say? No. But I love. First of all, let me just say this: Clancy Brown has the fastest wardrobe change I've ever fucking seen in the TV show. He literally told that kid, "I'll be right back." Came right back. It was in the winter gear. It was just like, I'm sorry, were you wearing that under what you were wearing? Like, how did you change so fast?
Right.
Like, Jesus, I broke into a sweat changing my pants this morning. Like, Jesus, this is a lot of movement. He just, all right, You ready? You're just like, what the fuck? But I love Harrison's reaction. Like, what's going on? Like, what is like, what are you doing? He's just like, I want to shoot you real quick. Stay still. It's like, and then I love he doesn't see Dexter coming. And he's just like, yeah, come on. And Dexter's like, oh, I'm coming, bitch. Don't you worry.
I love how his whole world changed as soon as his mother, like, because the kid was all like spilling his guts to this bastard the whole time, eating fucking venison or whatever the fuck. And out of nowhere, this motherfucker come out dressed like he's fucking at a Rainbow Six and shit with like his normal white outfit, right?
Right.
And look, put a gun to him. He's like, look, this doesn't have to be this way, but I got basically saying I gotta fucking kill you.
Right.
Eye for an eye, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm nice, but I'm not that nice, motherfucker. Get up.
Which is crazy because his only evidence was, just so you know, it burns different. It wasn't snow, it was ash. And it's like, okay, but I burned things. Why, how did you put it together? I killed your son. That's the one thing I'm more confused about. So I'm more interested to see if this father maybe had someone watching Dexter or watching the area and he saw Dexter moving the body.
Killers know other killers. I thought Dexter knew. He's like, this motherfucker is different.
No, that's fair, but it's different to think that someone killed. But it's different to think someone killed your son with literally no other. Like, Dexter wasn't exuding anything of, I killed a little punk ass son. Yeah, I did it. I killed that.
Aside from the son being a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Dexter did have a few slip ups, but it wasn't a slip up that I would catch and go, oh, shit, now you didn't give away you killed his son. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. I think we only got like 2 episodes left, I think. So I'm curious to
No,
see
it's
how
so
this
sad. Like, where's it end? How's it end? Like, does it end?
You know what I'm really curious to see, Joel, and we'll find this out after next week. If they're addressing it as a season finale or a series finale.
I
That's
want to
huge.
know.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it is.
huge. Because
Hopefully it's not.
if it's a series finale, I think I will side with you and say I don't need his son to come back and do a show around that. But if it's a season finale, I have no problem with it being a new chapter, and the new chapter is with his son. I have
Already called the new name. You know, it's Dexter. What, New Blood, right, or something?
Yeah, Dexter New Blood. Dexter New Blood. So I'm very excited to see where this show goes, but this episode was freaking bananas. And look, guys, you don't have to worry about us talking about an all new episode of Power. I don't know how, but Joel got it removed this week. So hopefully Joel.
That's how. Hey guys, that's how it ends. It's over. There is no more Power Ghost. That's it.
Joel's like, you guys just have to wait till February. Well, Tommy comes. Like, don't worry about it anymore, Tariq.
Yeah, it's over. Like, I don't know how you expected it to end, but.
And wait, hold on. I saw this video on YouTube, and I swear I was gonna send it to you. And it was someone breaking down this last week's episode of Power, or the week before's episode of Power, and he was theorizing how Ghost is going to help Tariq get out of this situation. And I go, oh no, I'm sorry, sir. You must not know. Joel wrote the script. If anything, Ghost is gonna figure out a way to keep his ass in there forever. So I'm like, I don't think that's going to, but I do think it would be cool, and I know you probably have no interest in it, but it would be cool if Tariq starts to remember some of the things his dad taught him, like some of the things that maybe didn't make sense then that he can utilize now. But we know how he's gonna get out of jail. It's going to be Councilman Tate. It's going to help him get out of jail. That's going to be so obvious. Either Tate or Monet. One of those two is going to help.
Or the lawyer. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. Yes, 100%. But how he gets him out of that, the badge was found in his dorm.
Yeah.
How else would you have that badge?
It was a plant. Motherfucker, that wasn't me. But how do you explain that?
I don't think that's ever worked in the history of our justice system. No. That's
you gotta prove it.
Yeah, that $6 million that you found in my home that was just reported stolen, it was planted here. So
my first argument would be like, why the fuck would I keep that? Like, why? Why
in
would
my
I
room? In my drawer. Like, why wouldn't I burn it? Throw it in the garbage.
Why would I keep evidence that I killed a man? It makes no sense.
None whatsoever, and he has no motive.
No, especially him. Did he ever meet him?
No, I don't think. I don't remember if they did.
I don't know who that is. Fuck.
Yeah, he's like.
Look, I'm putting Kane in there too. I'm like, bro, if I'm in this motherfucker, you in this motherfucker.
First thing I'm saying is, all right, cool. Look,
I'm squealing.
Do y'all want to keep me? Do y'all want to keep me, or do y'all want to keep somebody more exclusive? I know who killed the professor. Yeah. It's like, you do, and it's like, yeah, it was this guy Kane. It's like, wait, Tariq, it was you. Shut up.
You don't know that.
Shut up. You don't know
I know he killed this fucking cop. I'll tell you that.
I know that for sure. Yeah, he killed the cop. Yeah, take him. But all right, so we have nothing to talk about for Power because obviously Power was not new. Let's see what else we got. We don't have a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's see. Spider-Man crossed $1 billion. That was great.
Awesome.
That was great. We're hoping Batman does just. Oh, I did watch Don't Look Up.
Did you?
I've never been more confused about a movie in my life than Don't Look Up. It was hilarious. It was funny, but I still don't know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, when you watch it, you'll feel that way. You'll laugh a lot. It is hilarious. Leonardo DiCaprio playing a smart idiot is probably one of the best things you'll see all year. But it is very like, what is happening here? Like, oh man. But it is something I do suggest to everybody to, if you get a chance, go check it out. Go check it out.
Word.
Listen, John Bernthal obviously wants to be the Punisher again. That's
wait, that's news?
Right, yeah, like duh.
Who doesn't want him?
Shit, I want to be fucking Oh, let me ask you this. What do you think the chances are No Way Home gets any kind of Oscar nods?
Don't have very high hopes. But cool. It'd be cool if it did. I don't care if it does or it doesn't, because that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I want people to stop valuing the Oscars and the Grammys as much as they do. That's the world I want to live in. These movies are uber successful. Why does an award validate you any more or any less?
Right.
I understand that, especially in superhero movies. Like, bitch, you did not cast Mahershala Ali to win an Oscar. You just casted him because he could be the best Blade. That's all I care about. Like, what? I don't fucking need
It helps that he's talented, of course.
Well, it helps that he's an Oscar winner for sure, because you at least go, well, we know he can handle the character. But to me, I've seen Marvel cast people I've never heard of. So I'm like, I wouldn't have been angry wherever you went, Mahershala or no Mahershala. It's just you so happen to land a perfect option for the character. So,
right.
But all right.
Respect.
Let me see. Spoiler alert for anyone who has not seen the season finale of Hawkeye. The Vincent D'Onofrio and the cliffhanger ending. I hope he didn't die. I'm with the fans. I want to keep playing this part. My hope is that we continue. Is this the same Vincent D'Onofrio that told us he was not Kingpin in the Hawkeye series?
Yeah, but
okay. So what he's saying sounds exactly like that. It sounds like, of course I'm back. I'm not going to tell you guys. You'll see me in Echo. Yeah. I really thought nothing of that.
What do you think, man? It's one of those things.
Yeah. Well, come on, guys. Really? You think they brought me back to kill me? Come on. Don't be stupid. Yeah, but Dom did classify Don't Look Up as an absurdly brilliant, sarcastic comedy that is sure to ruffle some feathers. So I thought that was interesting.
I like it. Ruffle them feathers, bro.
It definitely does that. It definitely does that. We spoke on these leaks of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, right?
We spoke about some of them. Well, like, we don't really have to. A lot of shit's out there right now, so like we don't. Some of it's obvious bullshit. Some of it's not. But like, it's hard to gather what's real and what's not anymore.
Do you wanna speak on the the Sony wanting Emma back for Spider-Gwen?
Also, another one where like at this point, what doesn't Sony want? So I'll be more surprised. Sony doesn't want this. Then talk to me.
And you know what's crazy? Sony does weird things. So when I hear that, nothing in me makes me want to say no. They're not. Everything
exactly. For me, it's like that doesn't sound. That sounds exactly like something they would want to do.
That's why whenever
this is the same company that was thinking about doing an Aunt fucking movie.
We lived in that.
So yeah, they have no love. They don't care. They have no shame. They have no shame, that company, especially when it comes to Spider-Man IP. So.
And you know how I feel about one of the projects they were trying to fucking pawn off on.
They're still trying to do that one.
Fucking throw that shit down the dumpster. I'm gonna start a petition. If they continue to move forward with that, Joel, I will start a petition. I will. No one will sign it, but I will start that shit. I promise you.
I mean, I don't want it to happen. I don't really care about it, but
you better sign it for me then.
I don't really know what that universe is gonna look like. Honestly, I'm very confused. What am I looking at? I have no idea.
I'm like, the only positive that could come from that character is that if they do at some point use Miles in one universe instead of using him in the MCU first, she is how you could bridge the two.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, that's why I said just let her fall off into death. Don't try to bring her into
I don't know what they want to do, honestly.
Let the character die. It's okay. Just let it die slowly. I don't think we have anything else. I think that's pretty much it. There was obviously no CW stuff.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Yeah, it's been dead the last couple of days anyway, because of the fact that
which is why I was surprised we got something for the Batman. Because I'm like, I figure Warner Brothers is just gonna let the year end, let Marvel kind of do their thing. But they're like, let Marvel have all the glory to end the year. I think, okay. But the top of the month, Joel, we do have Morbius, and what else comes out in January? Something else big.
Morbius. Oh, you want to go over the slate, next year's slate?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that for
this. Alrighty. So, as of right now, the only thing I'm only going over the stuff we have dates for, right? So, the 28th of January is Morbius from Sony. We have The Batman on March 4th from DC, Warner Brothers. May 6th, we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness from Marvel, Marvel Studios. On the 20th of May, we have DC's League of Super Pets from DC Animation. We have July 8th, we have Thor, Love and Thunder.
Oh, shit, that's in July?
Yes, July 8th.
Shit, hold on.
Are you planning something in July?
No. I'm trying to say a trailer's not far.
Probably not.
The trailer is probably around either because no one does Super Bowl anymore. So then that leaves March. Prime. Well, when is the Oscars? When's the Oscars?
Fuck if I know.
When's the Oscars this year?
I was literally just telling you how much I don't care.
It's March 17th. Yeah, no. I only asked because if they're trying to get any kind of Oscar nods for Spider-Man, I could see our first trailer for Thor being in March when we have the Oscars. I for some reason thought Thor was later in the year. That's the only reason why I was so obsessive just now. I'm like, shit, it's in July.
Yeah, no.
Like, we got a Doctor Strange trailer in December for a May movie. We'll be getting that Thor trailer pretty soon. Okay, so Thor is July. What else we
got? Black Adam, also the end of July, 29th. 29th of July is Black Adam.
That's bold. That's bold. All right.
Black Adam in July, 29th. We have Across the Spider-Verse in October 7th. Part 1, by the way. It's right. 2-part. And then The Flash on November 4th. And then, wow, you want to see ballsy? November 4th is The Flash. November 11th is Black Panther.
That
Wakanda Forever. Which may get pushed.
Gonna sound that will be pushed. You're right, but let's act on the thought of it stays. The only reason why, to me, I'm like that's not that ballsy if you're Marvel is because you're Marvel. I think it's ballsy for DC to pair itself in the same month, like to be at the end of the month.
They weren't though. It fell back into it. It didn't. It wasn't originally there.
No, that's fair. And we still wholeheartedly believe that if necessary, they don't mind pushing it just a little bit. Which it
is close. It's like a week apart, so there might be some wiggling going on there, especially from Black Panther, because considering all the delays. But we'll see.
Right. Yeah, I still wholeheartedly believe if you can,
or move Flash up,
because to me, it didn't say anything about August. So I'm like, if you're Black Adam, just take the whole month of August.
I mean, it's right there. 29th is basically August anyway.
I mean, yes. Okay, yes. Yeah. And Thor's what?
The beginning of July, 8th.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then I'm with you.
There's like 3 weeks or more between the two.
Yeah. By the time Black Adam comes out, if you haven't seen Thor, you just had no interest.
There's room in August, September. There's room next year in March. I mean, I could see the Flash or Aquaman moving because Aquaman is the last one, the Lost Kingdom, this year. So it ends with Aquaman. It might stay there, but I could see the Flash either moving up or maybe moving out, or Black Panther, same thing. Black Panther may not move up. If anything, it'll move back. But
it'll move back. Yeah, it can't move up.
Yeah. Flash could move up because it's done. As long as there's room, which they're, like I said,
November, you said.
Yeah, November 4th. They could always move up to September. I mean, I don't know. It's up to them.
Actually, if I'm DC, I kind of hold still only because think about what Marvel just did this year: Eternals and Spider-Man the end of the year, literally back to back, not back to back like weeks or days. I mean like November, December. If I'm DC, I pulled the same thing because you just said it. Black Panther is going to move. We know that.
Maybe because where does it move? You got to move the whole thing, the whole slate down. And Black Panther moves to where the Marvels is. You know what I mean? And
what
everything.
months did you say were empty next the year after? Yeah, the year after.
I mean, but there's already 4 designated spots for Marvel next in 2023. You get what I'm saying? Then I'm just gonna throw a 5th one in there, willy nilly.
Wait, so Marvels is March of 2023.
No, February.
February. And is there an announcement of something in March yet?
Nothing. Nothing in March, nothing in April. The Guardians is on May.
Yeah, then I could see them flip-flopping. I could see Black Panther being like a February, March release, and the Marvels being like April, May. I could see that.
That's the problem. Is like they don't have a slot there. You know what I'm saying? Like unless there's like a Disney something slot in the middle. They have 4 already. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, okay. So let me say what's confusing me, so you can help. Let me say what's confusing me. When you're saying slot, I'm thinking in my mind they have already months taken up. So if you move something in, you have to move something else out. So that's what I'm trying to say. Right. Whatever month they don't have anything, put it there. That's what I'm trying.
Problem is that that doesn't work that way because Marvel already has 4 slots in 2020. They had 5. They moved it out. Remember? They have 4 slots. So I don't know what other movies are going to be in March and April. They might not have. They might be Disney. They might have other movies from Disney in those.
Okay. So you're saying a competition with amongst itself. I thought you were trying to tell me it's a chance that something else can come out. I'm like, why would they give a fuck? You're saying within Disney. Okay.
I don't know what other Disney movies are coming out in March and April.
Okay, so then we can say like you said. Let me preface that. Like you said, we just don't know because we don't know what they have. But as of now, because we don't know of anything, it could be logical for it to flip flop with the Marvels.
It could flip flop with the Marvels.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah.
Because right now, because every time there's a movement, if the dates don't change, they just move down. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. But if the Marvels is in February, I could see them saying, I don't mind putting the Marvels in November because it's done. And I'd rather put Black Panther in that February. It's not obviously, I'm not saying for Black History Month or anything, but because you just need more time and that's the only available slot you have.
Yeah.
Because the Marvels won't be affected dropping in November. It won't be affected at all.
Yeah.
This Flash movie will do great. It will do phenomenal. But if you do like what you just said Black Adam's doing, you put it at the end of the month, it won't make a difference. Wait, well, I'm sorry. It might. When does Aquaman come out?
16.
Ooh, that's cutting it close.
Close, yeah. Ooh. It's very close as of right now. That's why I don't know. I don't know if the bottom of that slate is gonna stay the same.
You know what? Let me fix my comments then. Because we don't know how far along they've filmed on Black Panther, I'm saying they put it on the shelf for now. I'm saying they finish it. They finish it because you don't want to hold up the actors.
Yeah, they don't finish it.
They finish it, but then they just put it on hold. So they figure out where you could strategically place it. Because it's a summer movie. It is a summer movie. So to not release it around that summer area is would be very interesting. So I'm going to say they put that on ice. They film it, finish it, get everything done, just put it on ice for the time being. And keep everything locked in.
They can move it a whole year back because there's a spot next November too.
And you know what?
But it's Untitled. They haven't put a movie there yet that we know of.
You know what? I would say do that only because there's already, with rumors, a lot of confusion going on with that movie.
You want to push back a full year?
Hey, that's the one movie I guarantee you no one's pining for because of the possible controversy of whatever they decide to do.
A whole
so I'm
year.
Like, if you can prolong it. Shit. By the time I get Blade and the X-Men and Fantastic Four, I won't really care what you're doing to Black Panther. So prolong
That's
it. I'm telling you right now, I won't. I only cared about it now because it's isolated, right? It's isolated. It's in between the Marvels. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that. So I'm like, it's in a point where I could just focus on it. But once you give me so many other things to think about, at that point, I'll just say, fuck it. I don't care anymore. But I like that slate you gave. I like that slate. It's so much. It's so much, and it's not really leaving that many empty months.
And that's not including. I forgot to put that in. We don't have a date. That's why I keep forgetting. Oh no, we do have a date.
What?
First Peacemaker. When's Peacemaker come out?
Oh, January 8th.
I know it's in January, but
January 8th or 12th, something like that.
Peacemaker. January 13th. I knew I forgot something. Motherfucker.
Yeah, so we'll be right around the corner to that. And Morbius is when?
Morbius is the 28th.
Just make it fucking February, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, baby. At least we're gonna have stuff to watch the first month. You know?
They're finding that was legit Sony's way of saying we want to make it a January movie, but we don't want to make it a January movie. So
Except we do.
28th it is. 28th it is. That's when people are headed back into theaters. The end of January. Don't be shit in January. Scream. That's the movie. Oh, thank you, brain. I'm like, something else comes out next month. Scream. Scream comes out next month.
January?
I couldn't remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Scream. I keep seeing the ads for it literally every day. I'm like, there's something else. Scream.
I'm telling you, it's on that day.
My brain was saying, Juwaan, Scream. Hello, Scream. So yeah, I do want to see that in theaters. I want to see that. So I'm gonna make you go with me. We're gonna go see that.
That's fine. I'm not in a rush to see it, but I'll watch it.
No, I don't mean opening night. Preferably probably that Friday or Saturday or something.
Whenever. Again, I don't care. I'm not a big Scream. I mean, I don't dislike it or anything. That's not one of my. It's not one of my favorite horror franchises.
It is. I'm glad Joe did that for the month of October. Those horror movie reviews each weekend. When we picked Scream, I was just like, fuck yes, any excuse to rewatch this movie, man. And I rewatched it, and I was just like, it is just as horribly good as I remember. Bravo. It's horribly good as I remember, Joe. I remember when I first saw it with my dad thinking, like, what the fuck? This is just, what is this? And then it just grew on me. I was like, all right, yeah, I like you. You grew on me. But all right, that's all me and Joel got for you guys. We will be talking Book of Boba by the next time we see you. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see what all the surprises are that have been teased. Din Djarin isn't the surprise I'm looking for. You know who I'm looking for in this show, right? Come on, you know.
Oh, yeah, Cad Bane.
You already know, my boy. Looking for Cad Bane. So I hope that's a surprise. Me and Christian Harloff were both saying, like, fingers fucking crossed. Like, if you're looking for a bad guy, because you're making Boba a good guy. So it's like, well, who's your villain in this story? It's like, oh,
right.
So
absolutely.
We said, oh, Cad Bane would be so perfect. So hopefully that pans out. But that's really all we got. By this time next week, there'll be 4 Knicks games for us to talk that. And then
I wanted to bring up something.
Yeah, good.
This is not news.
Mm-hmm.
This is not rumors. It's just an idea I came up with. Because I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, and a lot because I've been fucking in the house. So I've been playing it recently, and I'm like, because I love those. Those are my favorite type of games, easily. So you have got games like Ghost of Tsushima, Red Dead Redemption, or Witcher. You get the one-on-one with these characters and live. You're them, third person. Basically, they all play a little differently, but they're all very similar too. I was like, well, what would really be fun? Like I'm thinking of trying to like what would be another similar experience like with these characters, or it's not like these characters specifically, but like in a similar setting or something different, just something we haven't done yet and doesn't get a lot of like who doesn't get a lot of love. I'm like perfect. Zorro would be really cool as a fucking game, like in like old school California, like with a horse and a sword and a whip, and you're Zorro. That'd be fucking cool. You fight bandits, you fight soldiers, you fight the Indians, whatever. You know what I mean?
If it
So
plays like Red Dead and Witcher, I am 100% with you.
that's what I'm saying. That's how I would say. Yeah, like that. Like it would play like that. And you'd like fence with people because you basically just use your sword and your whip.
Right.
But or knife, you get a throwing knife or some shit. But yeah, that would be fucking cool. Like, yeah, fighting off like
Bro, you know what we
soldiers.
have to do now, right?
What?
We have to now pitch this to Wilder Valderrama.
That's it. Wilder.
I would 100% talk to Kanan right now to get an interview with Wilder if you did it with me and we tried to pitch him this game.
I'll pitch it. Now, like, look, you're gonna be Zorro, so we need a Zorro game now to follow.
And are you willing to do it? Yes or yes?
You gotta do the voice. The voice.
Yeah, like go pitch this somewhere, man. Like let's
Or
you know
mocap.
what? I'll even take whatever his answer is and clip that as the clip for that episode. Yeah, all right. So that's what
we gotta put it into the air. Zorro video game in the same vein as
bro. First of all, if
Dead.
not for most of these Batman movies, people would forget who Zorro is. Like with these Batman movies continuously mentioning it, and it's like, oh yeah, Zorro does exist. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Zorro was the inspiration for the Batman. So imagine
Arkham Knight, but with Zorro. You're just popping off of a horse, shank, whip, shank, knife throw. Like, come on,
right, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it's gonna be so fun because in this game, you don't have a gun. You don't have guns in Ghost of Tsushima because there's no guns at that point.
Right, yeah.
So it's just a sword and his bow. He has two different types: a short bow, a long bow, and he has throwing weapons like bombs or sticky bombs or kunai, shit like that. But it's all him and his katana. Like you don't get a different weapon. You get the same him and the katana and the tanto. That's it, and you just upgrade them. That's it. The same thing with the bows. You get your bows and you upgrade your bows. You don't get different versions of them. Only thing you can change the cosmetics. It can make them look different. But for the most part, they're all the same weapon. Not like Witcher, where there's like you use different weapons and they can they're different. That's like an RPG, different stats like that.
Speaking of Witcher, we talked about this and we were wondering, was it ever said? He did in episode 1 of season 1 mention the difference of swords. Remember where he was fighting that girl? She wanted to kill the guy that he was talking to, and he said no, like just don't go that path. And she literally was fighting him. The first thing he said to her was, I'm not gonna kill you. Steel's only for monsters.
Right.
Like, he did say it. Okay.
Silver is only for monsters.
Silver is only for monsters. But we still never get to see him.
He does. If you see him, he either carries the one and puts the other in like the sheath,
a little sheath,
in that like a bag. It's like this bag. He was wearing the bag, if that means that.
But like, we'll put his back. I gotta know: is it just heavy on him, and that's why you don't do it? Because it's such a look that I love, and I'm like, I want to see it at some point.
See that if we ever interview Henry Cavill, you gotta ask him like, will we ever see the dual blade in the back?
That is one that I want, but I really want to talk to the showrunner.
Oh yeah, her too.
She really is nailing this show in a way I did not think could be nailed. So
that'd be a good one too. That's a question to ask, or like, will he get his scars?
Oh, bro, because if I interview her, the first thing I'm gonna do is yell at her for tricking us about that face cut. You're like, oh, the scar, and then he looks at you, and you're like, that's not the scar.
Yeah, I want to see more magic, different. I mean, we saw a couple more this season. I want to see more because I was bitching most of the time. Like they use fire in the game, and in the very end, he used it on the. I'm like, oh, that wife say it, he fucking does it.
I'm like, he doesn't use, and I know it's not the right name, but he doesn't use the force often either. I'm like, use the force more.
He does, and
so sporadically.
They use it. They use it a couple times in this.
They do, yes, yeah.
But they use it also a lot to defend themselves, which is cool. They didn't do that a lot in the first
I just
season.
love the aesthetic when he does use it. I'm like, it's so cool.
It is cool. There's other ones. It's not just those two. They only use the two, but there's more. There's a shield one. There's a whole bunch of weird ones.
And I know we're in the second season, but I still can't get over whenever you see them go. And then the eyes turn like bloodshot black, and it's just like, I never got to do that. Like, it's just boom, I enhanced. Like, there was no elixirs or anything.
There's different ones in the game too, because you can just for different monsters and shit like that.
Yeah, I can't wait to go through this game again. But really good news before we get out of here: the Hawks lost, so they're 15-18.
Damn, I feel so bad.
And I don't know who this Bane kid is from the Grizzlies, but he had 32 fucking points tonight.
I don't know Desmond Bane. It's good.
No,
He's a starter.
I've literally never watched this season, not one Grizzly. Let me take that back. I've never watched not one game that was not this.
Disappoint me every time you say shit like that. Who's Bane? I'm like, Desmond Bane?
I told you, I will never lie to you, bro. I had no idea. I've heard him before.
If he was like a scrub on the Grizzlies, I'd understand, but the guy was starting.
The only time I heard him was when they were doing that thing with Shaq where they were trying to ask what's his first name. They gave the last name and Shaq had to guess the first name. And he was like Thaddeus Bane, and they're like, oh my god, no.
That's sad. Those guys are like analysts. You could tell they don't watch a lot of games.
Like, and you know what's crazy? Only Kenny and Ernie really know these guys. Shaq and Charles don't know these guys. Charles didn't know Emmanuel Quickly's first name. Shaq didn't know Mitchell Robinson's first name. I'm gonna send it to you. Watching him go through these names were hilarious. Him going through names and then Charles matching the player to the team is hilarious.
That's so bad. Like, how do you not know?
Wait, Joel, I was dying on the one episode. Ernie goes, Charles, I'll give you a hint. We just watched the game. And Charles goes, all right, he plays for the Suns. Charles, he's on the Hawks. We just watched the Hawks play. You just saw the man on the court. How did you forget that quick? He's like, I don't know who he is, man. I don't know who he is. But no, at least I'm honest. Like, I don't call myself a savant of basketball at all. I watch the Knicks. That's it.
Keep it simple. Follow basketball. That's all.
I can't keep up. Shit. I do that with football.
You play 2K. Like, I don't like they're in 2K.
Oh yeah, but I mean I play it, but I don't like when I play it go, okay, all right, cool. I know who that is now. Like I know it in the moment, but I don't retain that shit. I don't know. Tell you what, let Desmond Bane. Sorry, I said plain. Let Desmond Bane play for the Knicks. I know who he is. I know who he is in a second. Or let him go to a team I hate. Then I'll remember him out of spite. That's for sure. I can remember most of
play the Grizzlies more. You'd hate them, trust me.
All right, that's all me and Joel got for you guys today. You guys learned a lot, you laughed a lot, you cried a little bit. So we appreciate you guys for joining us on this episode, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Till then, peace.